It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat each and every day. You never know when the chat's going to script the show out for us. They've already been hot and heavy at work, the producers of the program. So chime in the chat. Willy-nilly, as you feel free, I guess I should say.
Man, you can only kind of tell that we're off tomorrow.
Yeah, it's fine.
We got 3 hours left, and then then we're headed straight to mail-it-in time, boys and girls.
Yep. No, I've already mentally checked out for the entire week, actually. So it's one of those things. Like I saw one of our vendors, one of our like services that we use to post podcasts and stuff. There was an alert on their website this morning that they would be gone for the rest of the week because of the summer solstice break. So they're taking Juneteenth, and which is tomorrow, federal holiday. You know, hopefully you got a job where federal holidays, you get those off. So won't be here tomorrow for Juneteenth, and then they're just stretching that the rest of the week to have a 5-day week, calling it the summer solstice break. I kind of like that idea.
So basically what you're saying is that they're doing the same thing we've done for the last 2 weeks.
When names on the door.
Yeah. Can we call that Jeremy and tanking from now on? I feel like we've started a trend.
Well, look, summertime comes around, and we all know what's going to happen, right? Regardless of what business you're in, it's going to kick up here in a little while. I mean, not if you're in, like, hospitality business, obviously summer months are not times that you can necessarily take times off. But for the rest of us, it's going to get crazy. It's going to get wacky.
Our fall is going to be insane.
For me, it's going to be absolutely insane because not only do I have, Sportsocracy stuff and the Living the Dream tour coming up, it's also an election year for the the talk side of things.
Oh, God, I didn't even think of that.
So, I mean, it's just balls to the wall once we hit next month.
Which basically means that come about July 30th, when Tank and I leave for Canton, Ohio, and the Hall of Fame game, Tank's going to kiss his wife and his children and go, I'll see you in the wintertime.
Yeah. I'll be back around probably about basketball season.
It's been a long December. There's reason to believe.
Speaking of basketball season officially over. The NBA Finals coming to an end last night.
Hey, if you listen to Jeremy, you're welcome.
Oh, yeah. You should have known that.
I damn near called the score. So, but Boston, they lost by 40. Yeah, because they didn't want to win, goober. Because they walked into that one and went, I really don't want to raise this championship in Dallas. Looks like we're pulling a Jeremy and Tank in Game 4.
And they did. And then they came out in Game 5, and it was all firing on all cylinders. They ended up winning by, 36 points, something like that, in the end?
They won by 19, I think.
Was it? I thought it was worse than that.
Oh, as a matter of fact, it wasn't even that bad. 18.
18, excuse me.
I said it would be by 20. So, okay, I can't be right about everything, but here's the big question. Here's the question on everybody's minds. Did anybody watch it? The answer is probably not.
Right. I thought they lost by 40, so clearly I did not see it. I heard the highlights. I got to see the post-game interviews with Jason Tatum talking about how, hey, what are they going to say about me now? They'll think of something.
Nothing.
They're
you know what they're going to say about you now?
You just watch, Jason. It's fine.
Yeah, you know what they're going to say about you now? Nothing. Because your sport is practically irrelevant. Hey, but at least we have your draft, which has...
It's not irrelevant. It's still number 3. The problem is the NFL is number 1, and everything else pales in comparison.
You think the NBA is number 3?
Yes.
I don't.
Who is?
I don't think there is one.
There is one. There has to be. There are
there
sports that exist.
No, but
they all come in consequential order.
But there's not another national sport. Everything is regional.
The NFL's it.
Well, the NFL and college football. Nah. And college football isn't regional because we want to see the guys that are going to be on our team 2 years from now. That's it. Everything else is regional.
Yeah. Yeah, college football is. I mean, it's 2, but it's a far cry from the NFL as well.
It's not.
Nothing gets the numbers.
It's not. It's okay. I'll put it this way: college football's way closer to the NFL than anything else is to it.
Okay, I would disagree. The numbers would disagree with you.
The numbers don't disagree.
Okay,
high-end college football games can do 15 some odd million viewers.
And
regular season NFL games do, outside of the ones that are completely standalone. College never gets standalone, ever. There's always more than one game on. Mm-hmm. The NFL has spots like Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football where there's nothing else. College football is closer to the NFL than anything else is to it, and it's not even debatable. In terms of total viewership, you're in the 60 some odd millions weekly in college football. Nothing else breaks 6. So unless you think there are 500 million people watching the NFL weekly.
What, when you total all the games, you're at 60 some odd million? Is that what you're saying?
That's, what is that term? It's not organic. That's always the term I used.
Was it unique viewers?
Unique. That's it. Unique.
60 million unique viewers.
60 million unique people will watch at least a down of college football weekly.
Okay. The games themselves, I mean, the numbers are pretty even. I mean, you look at the NBA finals, they pulled 9 million viewers, 9.3 million for game 4.
It was the worst rated game 4 in NCAA or in the NBA outside of the bubble.
Yes.
Since
on record, lowest game 4. Still 9.4 million viewers that's like what watched Colorado State last year.
Okay, think about what you just said. That's what watched your finals compared to 2 teams that won 11 games total. You're actually making my argument for me. How many people watched the national title game?
That was like the 10th highest rated college football game last year. It sounds off, but
it was in the ballpark.
But
you're comparing a finals to a regular season game,
right? But that's when that's I mean, yeah.
Okay, how many people watched the national championship game?
God, it was
25 and a half
million.
25 and a half to 9.
Yeah,
it's not close. It's not close. Now, what you're going to say is that the Super Bowl got 147 million.
Exactly.
That's
it's
the
also
Super Bowl.
not close to the NFL.
That's the Super Bowl. You're talking about one game, all right? Well, let's back it up. How many people watched the AFC Championship game? How many people watched the Rose Bowl? Because it was 27.7 million watched the Rose Bowl. Mm-hmm. It actually outdrew the national title game. Mm-hmm. Conference Championship drew about 50. I think it was 50 million for one and 48 and some change for the other. If you're talking, I'm talking percentages, not straight up numbers.
Right.
Straight up numbers, nothing's in the ballpark.
No.
I mean, if that's the case, then we shouldn't talk about anything but the NFL ever.
that's kind of where I've been at. Of the NFL is so far ahead of everything else. College football's 2, but the NBA is still 3. They're the top of the other professional sports.
I don't really agree with you. They're all in the same ballpark of you can get 8 to 10 to 12 million people to watch your finals. Nobody else watches anything else, so it's irrelevant. Watching your finals gives advertisers 7 games to actually reach you. How many people are watching a random Red Sox, I don't know, think of the most random team I think of, Pirates game in July? It's 600,000.
Yeah.
More people watch Duke play Wofford than that.
I believe I'm going to need some proof on that one.
College basketball is on ESPN. I'm looking at the number right now. It was over 1 million for Duke Wofford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was talking about basketball there.
I was thinking football.
No. I jumped the shark.
Where was that at? 1 million people watched on ESPN3? I don't think.
No, that was on ESPN. That was one of the.
No. I got when you said basketball, I was like, okay, well, that was on something.
Notorious B.I.G. said he didn't even know the finals were on last night. Didn't even know they were on. And you know what? That ain't the first person that said that to me today. I didn't even know it was on television because I don't watch broadcast television. Mm-hmm. So I didn't randomly flip across and see it. Mm-hmm. I didn't check Twitter or ESPN or anything like that. And then the next thing I knew, we had a winner. That's irrelevant. That's the definition of irrelevant. You had a glamour franchise, of which you only have 2 in the sport. I could argue 3, but the third one's been bad for so long. It's kind of hard for me to die on that hill.
Was that the one you were thinking, the Knicks?
Well, I was going to say the Bulls. People our age grew up loving the Bulls or hating the Bulls. But yeah, I think now you've been so far away from relevancy that doesn't really even apply.
No.
But you had a glamour franchise in your finals, and you couldn't consistently break 10 million people watching. You're dead. D-E-D, dead.
Dead, but you're still a major sport. Right? I mean, it's still a thing. It's still one of the most watched things on television. It's hard to gather people around for anything these days.
That's kind of you're
still
making my point for me.
Best thing going.
I mean, yes, I guess technically something has to be 3. It doesn't. I'm a marketing guy, so for me, if you're not relevant, I'll
right.
stop at 2.
Right. If you ain't first, you're last. Yeah.
I mean, if you're the CEO of a big company right now, are you really trying to invest in the NBA? Honestly. No. I'll be an ancillary sponsor on Mountain West football. It will be somehow cheaper, and it will generate just as many eyeballs.
I'm not chasing NBA Finals numbers. I'm going after the NFL market on Netflix.
Let me ask you a question. We've been doing this show for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Do we ever talk football and it be somebody else, and it be a listener's, not their team, and they turn off and go, oh, God, I can't. No, they have an opinion. It doesn't matter what team it is because they have their team, and then they have an opinion on all 31 other teams, which could range from pure hatred to, I don't really care, but I'll still listen to it.
Correct.
The NBA, I literally could tell you names of people that the minute we say it, turn the radio off.
Yep.
Major League Baseball, same thing. WNBA, same thing. Golf, same thing. UFC, same thing. It's dead. That's a dead sport. When you can't name 20 people off the top of your head that play in the sport, it's dead. And last night was proof positive. I thought you'd be able to do a number just solely off the fact you had the Celtics in it. Nope, that doesn't work anymore either.
And you did. You did a number. It wasn't a good one, but you did a number.
See, I think you're getting locked into the number. I think that's where you and I have a disconnect in this argument.
What do you mean?
10's not a number in an NBA Finals. It's not. And I'll give you an example. You know I like analogies. Okay, if you own a restaurant, you're used to having 200 tables a night. All of a sudden, you have 40 tables. Yeah, there were technically people in that restaurant, but there really weren't. It might as well have been empty. Because you went from making money that could sustain you to money that can't.
Yeah.
That's where the NBA
made money,
is.
Right? I still made money, and
this is where the business acumen kind of shows.
Mm-hmm.
You're chasing $7 billion a year in television deals. You think 9.62 for your finals is going to get you there? When you were doing 13 million. Do you remember how hard we railed on the Toronto Raptors year? Of the NBA must be ready to throw itself out a window because they had the Raptors and the Warriors?
Yes.
That drew 18.5 million people for Game 6.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't do half of that.
No.
That's not sustainable. Your salaries go up. Your viewership goes down. What else goes down? The money. Mm-hmm. Oh, NBC will pay to have the games on. Okay, that's fine. They also pay to have the Olympics, which is an abject disaster. They lose their ass on that every single year. And they'll lose it on the NBA too because sponsors are looking at this going, why would I invest the money in this?
Yep.
I got to pay top dollar for your finals. Like I'm investing in the NFL playoffs. You're drawing a fifth of the people.
Oh, it's clearly gonna hurt the number. It's gonna hurt the price that you can put on those advertisements. But it's still the biggest thing to invest in in television for this time of year. I guess that's where when you go, oh, it's dead. Well, it's
dead.
Still the biggest thing in television.
That doesn't make it a good value. That's kind of the point. Oh, it's the best thing. Mm-hmm. You're having to pay for it like it's the NFL. I mean, trust me, I know enough of this. The number that comes on these commercials, there's a reason you see the same 4 advertisers.
The number that the NBA charges is equivalent to the NFL?
Yes. Not for the Super Bowl, but for everything else, yeah,
then
it is.
Then that is an unsustainable model.
That's the whole point I'm trying to make, Tank.
And you can't keep charging that.
That's the point I'm trying to make, Tank. That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
But that doesn't kill the entire sport. That doesn't
mean when your salaries are going through the roof and you're paying guys $50-some-odd million a year.
Everything just comes back to the mean, right? Eventually, the salary caps are going to drop.
Hey, when was the last time you saw a salary cap drop in any professional sport? Name it. I can't wait to hear this.
All right.
It's because it's never happened.
Okay.
You know why? Because it's collectively bargained that you can't do that. You're stuck. That's the point I'm trying to make here. You have no stars. You have no stars coming. You can't even get the glory franchises to rate. You're dead. This is what I said about baseball 20 years ago. I was right then, and I'm right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm right about every other sport. Advertisers like Dr. Pepper would rather hop on the Big 12 title game than hop on your finals. That's death because your athletes are going to want a cost of living increase. It gets more expensive to live every single year. Mm-hmm. They want their salary to go up. Mm-hmm. It's collectively bargained that it's going to. Eventually, there's a crux. You're at the crux. Getting 10 million people for your finals means absolutely nothing. Nothing. Because you can't even sustain the cost of doing business for that. Then you look at the regular season, and don't even get me started on playoffs. Your playoffs are astronomically long, and nobody watches it. You're doing a bad Chicago Fire rerun number in your playoffs. Why would I? You're laughing that the numbers are the same.
9 million people watched the Chicago Fire rerun?
I'm not talking about for the finals. I'm talking about for the rest of your playoffs, which I just said 3 times. You're getting 2 million people, and that's watching the Knicks and the Celtics.
Yeah.
Go check those Pacer numbers and tell me how many companies you think are going to invest in that. If you don't have investors, you don't have growth. It's dead. It's a dead sport. It's going to get worse every single year. And it has gotten worse every single year. Mm-hmm. We thought last year was as bad as it could possibly get because it was the Nuggets and the Heat. That's 2 non-glamour franchises. One that's in the bottom 8 in the league. The other's at least pseudo-popular because it's a really populated city. You did 70% of that number with the Celtics.
You didn't have a draw. You should have. Years past, you would have. Right? You had the Celtics. There you go. You've got one of those heritage franchises involved. You've got the second best player in the league. Right? Luka Doncic. Got to be top 3, top 4.
No doubt. Again, you're making my point for me. You had one of the best players in the league. You had one of the most popular players in the league in Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. And the second most popular team in the league. Mm-hmm. You still couldn't draw. You're still doing 70% of what the Nuggets did a year ago. Do you understand the de-escalation in that? That's almost, from a marketing standpoint, that's almost hard to comprehend. You would damn near have to try to do that. They didn't try. There's just no pop on your league whatsoever, and there's none coming. Cooper Flagg ain't going to save you. I hate to break it to you. A big, gangly white dude from Connecticut or Delaware or wherever it is he's from, that ain't saving your league.
Zachary Riseacre.
Of which that is the first time I've ever heard somebody say his name, and I would have said it completely wrong.
That's the number 1 pick in the next draft, by the way.
You mean the one that's coming up in 2 weeks that nobody's talking about?
Yeah, nobody's talking about it. Because nobody knows who's in it. You're in the Sportsocracy. This ESPN Asheville. Boston Celtics, champions of an irrelevant league. Congratulations. We'll be right back.
As the nation's leader in using orthobiologics to deal with joint pain,
Clear.
has treated tens of thousands of patients.
Yes, sir.
That treatment comes with a plan to lose weight, as we know that keeping a healthy weight puts less strain on your joints. So, now to help patients lose weight in the fastest and most effective way, QC Kinetics is excited to offer newly approved injectables for those who qualify. If your weight is keeping you from living your best life, call QC Kinetics now and learn more about these next-generation weight loss options, including semaglutide and tirzepatide. Even if you're looking to look better and feel better by getting back to your ideal weight, call the medical professionals at QC Kinetics to see if you qualify for these revolutionary and effective treatments. QC is making these amazing options accessible and affordable, and it starts with a free consultation. Call 833-QCK-SLIM to get yours today. 833-QCK-SLIM. 833-QCK-SLIM.
In 1944, Dodson Pest Control was founded with the core values of honesty, integrity, pride in their work, and respect for customers. 80 years later, the Dodson family still strives for those same values.
Hello, this is Bonnie Dodson. My father and uncle were always proud of their profession, and I am also proud that Dad's legacy lives on with my generation. We remain focused on providing every customer with the attention they deserve.
Dodson Pest Control, 80 years of experience. Visit DodsonBROS.com.
Compassionate care starts with respected and valued employees. Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation offers careers with purpose and opportunities for advancement for those looking for meaningful employment or anyone searching for a leading short-term rehabilitation and long-term care facility for loved ones. Sandstone prides itself on unmatched staff and resident satisfaction. We set the standard for excellence in employment and compassionate care. Discover the Sandstone Way online at sanstonehealth.com.
Ooh, I'm so ready for this weekend away with my girl.
Hey, hit the road? How about some free gas?
Free gas? How?
Try new Febreze car for some serious freshness and you can win gas for a full year. Visit Febreze.com to learn more.
Say less.
You may not win, but you're gonna have a fresh smelling whip.
Thanks, DJ Fresh. Now how about some music?
Hey, yo, this next one goes out to new Febreze car for giving you a chance to win free gas.
La, 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 la.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 to enter. N73124 for rules and how to enter. Visit Febreze.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Here's to the helpers. To the ones who grow up
Yeehaw.
knowing that life is about more than finishing first. It's about finishing together. At Ingalls, we know that doing your part doesn't mean doing for yourself. It means doing what you can. Even though you might not seek the spotlight, we see you, and we're grateful. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy. We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
We're back in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, the day after the historic win of the Boston Celtics. The greatest teams in NBA history. Didn't you know that, Jeremy?
Well, I mean, I would if I had seen them play a game.
He's like, we didn't care because we didn't watch it.
I mean, in large part, people didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Lots of people not watching.
I mean, for me, the scariest
NFL,
part,
really.
For me, the scariest part's the trajectory. Who's
Well,
the
I mean,
best young player in the NBA?
Everything is going downhill. All of the numbers are decreasing for everything that's not NFL.
Well, the numbers are decreasing, but that's not even okay. I'm going to go a little deeper dive here. Who's the best young player in the NBA?
Anthony Edwards.
who plays in a small market for a team that nobody really cares about. Hey, who's the second best young player in the NBA?
Oh, geez, I don't know. John Morant.
Who plays for a small market team. He's missed the better part of the last 2 years. Nobody cares. Victor Wembanyama would be up here pretty high. Who plays for the smallest market team in the league, and nobody cares. Oh, and by the way, 2 of those 3 teams are bad. Good luck with that. Coming up in the next class, absolutely nobody that will sell a ticket. If they do, it won't be for 3 years. Because you'll hit some random Giannis Antetokounmpo. But it's going to be an international guy. Of the lottery picks, I think 6 of the 14 will be college basketball players. Most of them played 1 year, and a couple of them played at schools that you don't really tend to watch. You have no star power. What happens when LeBron James and Steph Curry are out of this league? What do you talk about then?
It's going to be a pain.
What do you talk about? It's not going to be a pain. I would argue it's going to be a great thing because then I don't have to talk about it at all. If we didn't have LeBron James to talk about, how many times would the NBA have been mentioned on this show in the last 9 months? Because I'll bet he's a solid 50% of it.
Could be.
You got like a year of that. Maybe 2. He goes away. You think we're going to sit around talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo and Luka Doncic? Because I beg to differ.
It's an identity problem.
You have a group of aging stars. You have not replaced them with any, and you haven't marketed them well. You just had 4 of the best players in this league going up against each other.
Yep.
3 of which are young guys. Nobody cared.
Nope.
Nobody
All of these recaps of the NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics, historic NBA season, the dominant run through the playoffs. They were 9-1 on the road. No other team's ever done that. They were one of only 5 teams, right, that have ever had like 21 or fewer losses in an entire season and playoffs. There are only a couple of teams in history that have pulled that off. The numbers that they put up throughout the season, dominating teams, beating the snot out of teams. Top 5 all-time season, offensive efficiency, all that stuff. Where's the accolade, right? Where's the hype? It's not there.
It's not there because you don't have anything. You don't really have anything that will draw you, and that's a problem. And then you have the other problem, which is actually what got me down this rabbit hole, and we managed to go through an entire segment where it was never even mentioned. Who started at center last night for the Boston Celtics?
Horford.
Al Horford.
Yep.
Let's play a fun game. How much money has Al Horford made in his NBA career?
Oh, geez. $120 million. $150 million. Is it 200 and something?
Oh, yeah. It's 2.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it this way. He's the 14th highest paid player in the history of the NBA.
Wow.
He's made $275 million.
Jeez.
And he's not done yet.
Wow.
How many NFL players ever have made that much?
Oh, Lord. Accumulated already or have signed to play for that much?
Accumulated already.
I don't know. How many?
4. Care to take a stab at who they are?
No.
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan. End of list.
Who are they?
Okay, I'll say them again because apparently you didn't hear me the first time. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan. That's it. Those are the only 4.
here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money.
There he is.
The brick disconnected and would not reconnect.
Oh, wonderful.
I sat here going, da-da-ding, 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 da-da-ding,
I was looking at your face and my face. We're both just confused as fuck. Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Only on Hulu.
Don't miss.
Big Sean, Camila
All right,
Cabello, Doja Cat.
I don't know what that was, but
pay that off when you come back.
Yeah.
Paramore.
Well, I said it once, and then you said, "Who are they?" And I went, "Uh-oh, that's
Victoria
never good."
Monet.
And more.
Get tickets to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
The brick
now,
must have
before they
reset.
sell out.
It did that one time before.
AXS.com.
Join us for our 37th annual Operation Blood Drive with WLOS, ABC 13, and iHeartRadio Asheville. June 27th. Visit redcrossblood.org and use the sponsor code OBD2024. OBD2024. We can't wait to see you there.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like Freeform Radio. Search Freeform Radio and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Introducing KFC's $10 Tuesday. Get 8 hot and juicy drums and thighs for just $10. Taste it for yourself. Every Tuesday, only at KFC. It's finger-licking good. Prices and participation vary. Tax, tips, and fees extra.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals,
All right, we'll
televising
come back
college
here.
basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to
We'll
semi-pro
pay off
soccer,
what we were just
or
talking
taking
about,
you out
then
to
we'll
the
go
ball
into
game at your
outside.
minor league park. It's all in the bag.
And then we can take another break
Low
after
prices,
outside because
love
that
the
was
savings.
a tidbit
This summer,
clunky.
Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom.
My bad.
Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
All right, it is ESPN Asheville. We have reestablished comms with Mullet Manor.
Well, I think whoever runs the comm to my house, I think just went, shut up. Like, I want you to shut up right now and just reset
Please.
everything.
Stop talking about the NBA.
My
Jesus.
connection to you got reset, and then I sat here just hitting the button like, how about now? You go work now? How about now? Now? Maybe now. Let's go now.
So before we were so rudely interrupted by the devil technology there, we were talking about the NBA, and you said there were 4 players in the NFL's history that have accumulated more money than Al Horford has made in his NBA career.
Mm-hmm. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford. Matt Ryan.
Those are the only 4 players who, to this point, have made themselves more than $275
million.
Yeah.
Al Horford's not even in the top 10 of NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to keep accelerating. By the way, John Wall made $277 million. Does that sound like a sustainable business model to you?
Well, I mean, you also have to consider that there are only a small number of basketball players on a team. So they have a larger pool to share among fewer players.
Technically, you are right.
Mm-hmm.
You also make about a quarter of what an NFL team does. Your business expenses are also about 10 times what that of an NFL team are. You have 41 home dates. That's before you factor in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's $1 million some odd dollars just to turn the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, those things, I would say, even out pretty well. It's a non-sustainable business. When Kevin Love's made $270 million in his career, you think he generated $270 million? Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say he didn't.
Probably not. I've always thought the money in the NBA was stupid.
And it wasn't really a problem when you were drawing 20+ million people for your
finals games.
For your games.
Yeah.
Now it's a problem. Now it's hard to look at somebody making $300 million in their career that's a bona fide role player. They go, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We drew 10 million. We drew more than like hockey did. Yep. Do you know what hockey players make?
No.
It's a fraction of this. High-end guys might make $100 million total.
In their careers?
That's surging a little bit. I can pull that number too.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere. You're not going to see $300 and something million.
No.
For Al Horford. The math just doesn't math.
Mm-hmm. Although, we do have to give it up for Al Horford. I mean, the king of persistence. Set an NBA record last night. The most games played by a player before they won their first NBA title.
He also set another record.
186 playoff games he played in and never won a title.
He set another record, too.
What's that?
Most times that a player's been on a court in a playoff game that fans sat back and went, when did they get Al Horford?
It's not that bad.
I think Al Horford's played for like 11 teams in the last 5 years.
Has he bounced that much?
Well, he was with the 76ers. He was with the Thunder. He's been with the Celtics now twice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure I could tell you every team he's played for.
Well, he started in Atlanta.
Which feels like it was 217 years ago.
It was.
I think Al Horford got drafted when I was in high school. If not, he was pretty close. I graduated in 2005. I think he got drafted in 2007.
He did. He was the number 3 pick in the 2007 draft. And was in Atlanta till 2015. Went to Boston 2016 to 2018. Was in Philly for a year. Was in Oklahoma for a year. And 2021 till now is with the Celtics.
God, I didn't know he had been there. I didn't know he'd been back for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and making $27 million a year while doing it. And you didn't even know he played in the city.
Kind of the point.
Awesome. Yeah.
NBA action coming at you.
Yeah. Feel real good for Al Horford being a champion today. Feel pretty bad for Charles Lee. He goes to bed a champion and woke up a Hornet. Yeah. New head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. Going from the penthouse to the outhouse. Congratulations.
He's a good
Charles
coach,
Lee.
though.
But you're in charge now. So, hey, maybe. Who knows?
Hey, now your name's on the door. It's just not nearly as pretty of a door as it was this morning.
No doubt. All right, let's get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried to and missed.
All right, we have a lawsuit filed in college football, Jeremy. Former LSU football coach Les Miles filed a lawsuit against the school and the NCAA and the National Football Foundation, which manages the College Football Hall of Fame, because of the 2023 decision that vacated 37 of his wins at LSU, and now he's not considered for the Hall of Fame anymore. So they're saying, he's saying that it's all their fault. I cheated. You had to vacate my wins, so it's all your fault. It's got to be one of the dumbest lawsuits I've seen.
Well, I mean, Les Miles is not exactly a rocket surgeon in the first place.
Never said he was.
I mean, but he should be in the College Football Hall of Fame, right?
I mean, I would say eventually, I guess. But here's the problem. To be considered as a coach, or to be considered as eligible as a coach for the Hall of Fame, you have to have a 600 winning percentage. And with the 37 wins vacated from 2012 to 2015, his winning percentage dropped to 597.
Those years in Kansas were a lot of fun. Hey, aren't you glad you took that job?
Yeah, you should have quit 2 games to go in your contract. And then maybe you would have still hit the mark for the Hall of Fame. I don't know. I just have no sympathy for a guy who broke the rules, got busted doing it.
Everybody broke the rules. Everybody broke the rules. It's just a question of who got caught.
Mm-hmm. And he did.
He did. I mean, I'm not losing sleep.
Plus, he was doing
it.
weird stuff with co-eds on campus and stuff. That's just, it's creepy.
Did Les Miles do some weird stuff?
Didn't he? Wasn't he messing around with a cheerleader at one point? That was the story about him?
I think you've got the wrong guy. But I could
you
be
think
wrong.
I do?
No,
he and the school mutually decided to part ways in light of sexual harassment allegations from his time at LSU.
I don't remember that at all.
Really? We talked about this.
It also doesn't directly apply to me, so I don't. I have a memory like an elephant, except when I don't.
Miles was accused of sexually harassing student workers and making sexist comments about others. So he was weird on top of everything else, and that's. I don't have any sympathy for you. I'm throwing that. I'm doing the Jeremy Greene thing. You give me the robe and let me sit on that. I'm throwing it out. No case here. Move on.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. So. My story is also about the topic of the day, which is money. Netflix has 2 NFL Christmas Day games this year. And I was curious how this was going to work because Netflix is not known for doing commercials and things like that. Well, you have a lot of breaks in football games. So we've got a report that's out, and it's according to buyers familiar with negotiations. Netflix is selling sponsorships to their 2 Christmas Day games, Chiefs and the Steelers, the Ravens and the Texans. They consist of a minimum of 8 50-second ad units. How much does each of those packages cost?
8 50-second. Wait, say it again.
8 30-second ad units.
Ad units. Okay. So you got 2 minutes of spots in 2 football games.
You got 4 minutes of spots.
You got 4 minutes of
60 minutes, 60 seconds in a minute, 30 seconds in an ad.
Math is hard.
Math is
4
hard.
minutes a spot. $2 million.
Higher.
Really?
You're not really all that close.
4 million.
Higher.
7.
Bare minimum is 5.12 million. Man, you're bad at math is rubbing off on me. That's if you do everything in the pregame.
Yeah.
If you go in game or during halftime, it costs 5.36 million. Post game goes all the way to 5.6 million.
I wouldn't think post game would be more. I know that's semantics. Most people check out after the game.
They do, but you get the summation, and then you get a lot of run because the bits aren't as long.
Yeah.
So you get like 4 minutes at a clip, and then they run another set of commercials. So you just have a built-up audience that's. I'm a little shocked that I would have thought halftime was more.
Yes. Interesting. All right, $5.5 million for
8
4
Netflix
minutes.
commercials.
Yeah.
That people are going to be up taking a whiz during anyway.
It's all about getting your name in front of those eyeballs, though.
Oh, no doubt.
Because you're going to have a massive number.
And I would wager they will probably end up turning away businesses because they'll have so many that I can't satiate you all. And this is found money for the NFL.
In your opinion, does that do a big 25 number? 25 million, 50 million, somewhere in that range?
I'm really curious to see how I'm curious to see how that number is measured. It's really hard to get a legit streaming number because you have so many people that you don't get a really good idea of eyeballs because you have. I'll give you an example. My Netflix account is with my parents, so that's 2 households. Well, if we're both watching it at the same time, do you count that once? And if you don't, I don't really know how you know that. But yes, I think it will do an insane astronomical number.
Right. Well, first foray into live sports for Netflix is going to be the Jake Paul fight, right?
No,
Are they still doing that? Yeah, he's still doing a fight.
It's just not with Mike Tyson?
Yeah, he's doing a fight July the 20th. He's going to fight some dude named Mike Perry right after he gets done doing your taxes.
Sweet. That's going to be a bad day for Mike Perry.
This actually just came across my feed here 45 seconds ago from Yahoo Sports. Yeah, it says he'll fight Mike Perry on July the 20th. November the 15th is when the Tyson fight has been rescheduled for. Netflix still going to put that on and with him fighting some random no-name?
I don't know. I see the story, but I don't know if it's still on Netflix.
So
no, it's not. It will be on DAZN.
Okay. So this is going to be on DAZN.
Is that how that's pronounced?
Yeah. It's DAZN Sports.
I always thought it was Dazn because I'd have to be dazing and then out of consciousness to order a Jake Paul fight.
So Mike Perry is a bare knuckle fighting championship.
Oh, we're going bare knucks?
Let's
go.
He's a cruiserweight bare knuckle champion.
Does that mean they're going to fight bare knuckles? Because I'm here for that.
No.
Oh, come on.
He won't do that.
Come on, Jake.
You know he's not going to fight a real fighter.
Don't be a pudding, Jake.
In their discipline.
I can't even watch bare knuckle fighting.
It's painful.
It is painful, and I'm good.
It's a little too brutal. I need you to have some padding on those knucks. What kind of sense does that make? I won't watch bare knuckle boxing because it's too brutal, but I really hope somebody gets their leg snapped during a hockey game. But
I don't hope anybody ever gets hurt. Out loud.
There's one section, one part of us that yearns for the violence until it's something that makes us a little uncomfortable. Watching dudes completely just bare nut fist each other in the face is not something I'm really interested in.
Those of you that clip this show and send it to me, I'm going to need that one. Jake Paul, I would watch a bare knuckle fight with him just on the off chance that somebody caught a good one right in his jejunum.
No doubt. All right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Take another quick break. We'll be right back.
Getting quality employees.
You're clear.
in your company is
Thank you.
essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox.
So this Perry guy was also in UFC.
You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Asheville. Just check out their Google reviews. One patient writes, "I'll start by saying I really hate going to the dentist. My anxiety is always through the roof and I'm always so nervous. However, Summit Dental may be the first place that my anxiety is actually not going through the roof. The staff that works at Summit are an incredible team. They're kind, knowledgeable, and funny. I left feeling confident that we have a plan to help restore my teeth and get me on track to a better smile." Find out more about Summit Dental at AshevilleSummitDental.com or call 828-277-6868.
Digestive health issues can take over your entire day, leaving those like Taylor, hello, feeling bloated and uncomfortable. Hi, Taylor. I'm Ellen.
How did you get into my bathroom?
Never mind that. You need to try the Squatty Potty. The squatting position is clinically proven to increase emptiness for 85% of individuals.
Much better. You can go now.
Available now at Walmart and Amazon.com.
You can go now.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks.
I chose a
Ford
weird time to
Hendersonville,
stop
and
paying
we're
attention.
excited to kick off the Parks Promise.
Why?
Program. This year we'll be celebrating
Because as soon as I came back to reality, I heard a squatty potty and complete emptying and went,
there are so many
what?
organizations doing amazing things, from being a helpful hand.
It's for the better poos.
Embrace their neighbors. We can't wait to introduce you to our 2024 Parks Promise Community Heroes. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high quality.
All right, we'll have a few minutes to talk IOC here.
Right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in western North Carolina.
And then the
Don't know
top
if we
of
have
doing
enough time to talk
Houston.
about IOC here.
AVL.com. Your one.
We got teams to do in the next.
I'm Nathaniel Darnell, and this is my Ingle story. Here at Darnell Farms, we think our fruits and vegetables are some of the best you're going to find. We've been working with Ingles for years, and the support they give to family farms like ours is outstanding. Right here in the Great Smoky Mountains, next to the Tuckasegee River, we have the perfect place to grow our produce. If you want the best local quality, you cannot do better than Ingles.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. I'm live at the Ingles studio. Flostradamus, live from Mullet Manor. Brandon Ayuk, big problem with his contract. He wants more money, and the San Francisco 49ers don't want to pay him. And now he says they don't want him at all, apparently. So what do we do now? Where does it go from here?
I mean, I don't think there's a resolution coming. Brandon Ayuk is not worth what he wants. He wants to be paid in that high-end Tyreek Hill tier. You're not that.
Mm-mm.
I'm not sure you're all that close to that, if I was being really honest. But
I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that far away from that tier. It's just okay. Is he better than Amon-Ra St. Brown?
No.
Then you're not getting $30 million. Next, what's your next benchmark? You want 24 like Debo? Okay, we'll talk.
I'm not.
I'll pay you what Debo's be getting. He's
not
definitely
even 100% sure I can get there.
Yeah, he's definitely in Debo's class for me. In fact, I'd rather keep him than Debo.
Well, I would too, but that's because of the injuries with Debo. And look, Ayuk had an elite year last year. He really had never been that guy before.
No.
So, I mean, you know what I'm getting ready to say. I always get nervous when guys become elite right before they get paid because they tend to revert back to not elite after they get paid. I mean, he had 1,300 yards last year. He had barely broken 1,000 before in his career.
Mm-hmm.
He got to 10-15 the year before. He was under 8 the other 2 years of his career.
But he became the star last year. And when you become the star, you get paid like a star.
No.
That's where Brandon's at. That's just I'm just saying that's where his mindset's at. I
understand where his mindset's at.
I'm the number one wide receiver on this team. I need to be paid like I'm a number one wide receiver.
And I get where his brain's at. I don't question where his brain's at. The problem in this, is a big problem in society. We don't always get what we want. And I can't find a team that would pay him $30 million. I don't see one that'd pay him $25 million.
There's not a Buffalo Bills with the chance they would do that.
Buffalo doesn't have $25 million. So, I mean, they might want to, but they don't have the ability.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just look at guys like Ayuk. You're gonna be collateral damage here. We have elite receivers that get elite receiver money. T. Higgins, you're in the same boat, and I would rather have T. Higgins 100 times out of 100. You're that second tier of star that wants to be paid like that first tier of star. I'd rather just draft a guy in the first round and be done with it. And San Francisco just did that with Ricky Pearsall. So I'm good. I've watched too many of these receiver deals go sideways. I'm not doing it.
Yep. Somebody desperate for weapons would, though.
I don't know who it would be. I have this problem with T. Higgins, too. I don't know who is going to pony up that money.
Mm-hmm. The Chargers? Would they?
Maybe.
Desperate for a weapon?
But why would I not just draft one next year? Receiver is one of the few positions that guys come in and hit the ground running right away, quite often.
Sure.
Why would I pay $25 million or $30 million to a guy that's not worth that? I'm going to hamstring my franchise because I'm paying a high-end 2, back-end 1 like a high-end 1. No, I'll pass.
It's the same conversation that we get into with quarterbacks, though. Okay, but I'm still taking the chance.
Yeah, there's a difference with quarterbacks, though. There's not 100 quarterbacks. There are 100 wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'm getting with a drafted guy. I know what I'm getting with Brandon Ayuk, especially if he has a good year this year.
And that's kind of the point. If he has another 1,400-yard year this year, San Francisco probably franchises him.
Mm-hmm.
What if he has a 800-yard year like he did the first 2? I'm good. I mean, they're literally. This is another deep receiver class. I'll do that. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. But there again, if he reverts back, then the price drops. Right? It's all about what the market depends on, or what the market tells you you're worth. When he comes out on the market next year, somebody will give him big money.
We got to take a break, but there's a bigger question here, and
okay.
I want to talk about it when we come back. It's with wide receivers.
All right, we'll do that after the top of the hour here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
Exergen temporal scanner weather forecast on
Clear.
Asheville.
Thank you.
For outdoor plans, not bad. Is it warm? Yes. Is it uncomfortably hot? No, but maybe toward the end of the week. 84, partial sun this afternoon, a little breezy. Tonight becoming cloudy, will drop to the low 60s. Tomorrow, some partial sun with clouds, low 80s. Then we reset. We get a little hotter Thursday, Friday. Sunny Thursday, 86. Friday, sunshine will tickle 90. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stagic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Hurry in now to Apple Tree Superstore for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Hondas, including the CR-V, the HR-V, and Civic. Apple Tree Superstore is committed to offering you professional service and a great experience. Shop online at appletreesuperstore.com and in person, I-26 and Airport Road, Asheville.
Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning's hottest summer sale is going on now. 15% off all cleaning services. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 15% off your next service. Use promo code SUMMERSALE when scheduling online at zeroresasheville.com.
Even if you take excellent care of your teeth and gums at home, you still need to see a dentist regularly. And at Asheville Smiles, they have all the latest and greatest technology, which is so important because they are able to catch issues quicker and diagnose more accurately. Many dental problems, they don't even become visible or cause pain until they are in more advanced stages. So when you are thinking about 2024, you need to make sure that you think about your overall health and make that dental appointment. World-class dental care with a hometown feel. It's AshevilleSmiles.com.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Take us with you live or on demand. And, of course, on the YouTubes, you can watch us. Watch me in the Ingalls studio. You can watch him at Mullet Manor. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. And that way you can join us in the chat and get in on each and every discussion that we have with our time together each and every day here. Programming to note, we will not be with you tomorrow. It is a federal holiday tomorrow for the Juneteenth Day of Remembrance. So we will not be here for that. And then we'll be here on Thursday. And then not on Friday, right?
Correct.
That's how this is going.
Well, I mean, Friday's up to you. I will not be here. Because we'll be in a doctor's office lobby for the 11th time.
Once again.
You got to love the healthcare system in this country. Hey, we need you to come in so we can look at what you need fixed eventually. Okay.
Does get kind of awkward.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Amy went to Summit Dental. They did a great job, but this was a full-on procedure. So she had to go to another location that had to do x-rays, and they had to do all these. Can we not do this at one time? Mm-hmm. Summit was fantastic. They diagnosed the problem immediately, but that's not what we do. Okay. We'll send you to a specialist to fix that.
Yes.
And then we need to x-ray it 37 times. I think at this point, I have a pretty good idea of what's going on back there. I can't fix it.
It's absolutely maddening. It would drive me insane.
It's also why I don't go to doctors. Like, hey, well, we think this is what's wrong with you. Well, I think this is what's wrong with me. Thanks for telling me that. I need you to fix it. Okay. I know what's wrong. I eat cheeseburgers all the time and drink 48 beers a week. I need you to repair it. That's where I lack, is the repairing.
Precisely. Brandon Ayuk.
But free pub. I do highly recommend Summit Dental. They pay us $0, but they were phenomenal to deal with, and they got her in like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
She broke the tooth. We had an appointment, I think before the tear had run down her cheek from the pain.
Did she see Dr. Reinhardt?
Yes.
I love Dr. Reinhardt.
He was great.
He's a Carolina dude, too.
I didn't actually get to see him. She just loved him. Because she doesn't like people touching her teeth. And so she was like, Dr. Reinhardt was A1. He was steak sauce.
Yes.
As good as they get.
Good. We're getting that saga of the last few weeks taken care of. Still we'll have a little thought and a prayer out for Amy on Friday as she gets that completed.
Yeah, we're to the cosmetic part. That's who I was. For those of you that don't understand, that's who I'm complaining about here. It's the cosmetic that want to. Well, we could do all of these other things, or you could fix the problem. Sorry. Touches a nerve. No big deal.
Yep. Brandon Ayuk, he is he's big in the news right now because we don't know where he's at or where his team is at. So he was on this came from a podcast that he was on with Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
And they were FaceTiming or something, and Jaden Daniels said something about him getting paid by the San Francisco 49ers, and Brandon Ayuk's response was, "They don't want me." And to which Jaden Daniels got real excited.
So it was not a podcast, it was a TikTok.
Okay, it was a TikTok, excuse me.
And they were FaceTiming each other. Ayuk said, "They don't want me back." And then basically went down the rabbit hole of, could he wind up in Washington with Jaden Daniels?
Mm-hmm. Which would make a whole lot of sense. And that would be one of those teams that I could see them giving him in the neighborhood of big boy money. 27, 29 million, somewhere in that neighborhood. Gets him above the market, or I guess above the number one wide receiver that he's playing with right now.
Do you think he's getting that high up on the ladder?
Absolutely.
Devontae Smith got 25, and you think Brandon Ayuk's getting more than that?
Yes.
I don't.
Because the market has been reset again.
Devontae Smith
how
signed
this always
3 months ago. Devontae Smith signed 3 months ago.
That was 3 months ago?
It was in the it might have been 4, it might have been 2. It was in the offseason.
I don't remember.
I struggle to believe he's getting that much. I'm looking at wide receiver salaries right now. All right, Justin Jefferson makes 35. Well, Brandon Ayuk ain't Justin Jefferson, and I don't care how hard you squint. I don't care how red colored your glasses are, how San Francisco 49er glasses you have on. He's not in the ballpark.
Yep.
A.J. Brown makes 32. He's not in the ballpark of him either. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Tyreek Hill are at 30. Not in their ballpark either. Devontae Adams and Jalen Waddle are at 28. Not in their ballpark either. Cooper Kupp, I wouldn't love that deal if I was the Rams because he seems to be hurt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's at 27. Devontae Smith's at 25. Nico Collins and DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel are at 24. I've yet to come to a receiver that I would take Brandon Ayuk over. Not a single one of them. And most of them, it's not even close. Michael Pittman's probably the closest comp I've got, and he's at 23.
Okay.
That's where I think the problem lies, is that San Francisco's coming in about where I am, which is we can get to that 20 range, and he wants to be at that 30 range, and you're smoking crimes.
Now, has he said he wants to be at the 30 range?
That's what I've heard.
What we expect?
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
Sources close to the situation.
Right.
Say
Sources
that they're
close to his
far
agent.
off. And maybe I'm insinuating some of this, but if you're telling me you're far off, what would constitute far off? To me, that's $8-10 million a year. I don't think they're going below 20. That would be borderline insulting. I mean, Jerry Jeudy makes 17.5.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think you're going that low.
And then it's also what qualifies as far off. Is $5 million far off?
I mean, even at $5 million, he's wanting more than Devontae Smith, and you're out of your mind. I'll let you walk out the door. Frankly, I could care less.
Well, say and that's fine. Let him walk out the door, but I think there will be somebody else that will give him that money.
I'll let somebody else give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let somebody else give it to him because you're not. I mean, you tell me where I'm wrong. Is he in the neighborhood of any guy I just said?
At the bottom half of that, I think, or the last few guys that you said, I think he's in that realm.
You're not as big on Nico Collins as I am.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's a lot of that's because you're quarterback.
But so is Brandon.
I don't see him that way.
Yeah,
I don't see. I mean, because even that is ahead of Stephon Diggs and T. Higgins and DJ Moore and Mike Evans and Amari Cooper, and then I come to the second side of this. Do you realize how many wide receivers are free agents next year?
No.
Well, you got T. Higgins, who's on the franchise deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Amari Cooper's a free agent next year. I would take both of them over Brandon Ayuk, and I wouldn't really think about it all that hard. Wouldn't you?
How old is Amari Cooper?
He's not as old as you think because he was like 12 years old when he got in the NFL.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's 28.
He's 30.
He's 30. Okay.
Yeah, he's 30 years old.
Amari Cooper at 20, Brandon Ayuk at 30. Which one are you taking?
Okay, yeah, that makes more.
Because that's more where I think the contract's going to lie in.
Okay, then, yeah, I'm on the Amari side of that.
Stephon Diggs is a free agent next year.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Noah Brown. Now I'm getting to the lower side. CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I was going to say that, like, all of these, obviously, CD would be at the top, but he'll never
CD will never see the light of free agency, but my point is, okay, I can get DeAndre Hopkins for $15 million or Brandon Ayuk for $30. Yep, didn't even think about it. Didn't think about it for a second.
Depends on what you need, and you want a player for a while. You're still going the cheap old route.
I would rather go
Hopkins.
T. Higgins. I'd rather go T. Higgins. Frankly, I would consider Chris Godwin. I think that's closer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'll come cheaper. I'm not paying top money to a receiver unless they're an absolute dog. And I'm talking Jamar Chase. I'm talking Justin Jefferson. Absolutely nobody else. And you know how much I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I even thought about that for a second.
No.
When I saw $30 million on him, and then I went, you know what? You got a value on him for 4 years. He earned that. I'm good with that. But then I'm just looking at the market going, I don't know that I'm going to love Michael Pittman at 23 and some change.
Mm-hmm.
I already don't love Debo at 24. I don't love Cooper Kupp at 26-7. The Devontae Adams deal's done absolutely nothing for the Raiders at 28.
Right.
The Tyreek Hill deal, I think, is going to age like a dairy product. And then I get to Brandon Ayuk and go, why would I do this?
Yep.
Especially when I'm San Francisco and I'm getting ready to have to pay a mediocre quarterback $84 gajillion.
Ben Whitley in the YouTube comments nails it here. Ayuk is going to have to go to a bad team that has to overpay to get him the deal that he wants.
Yep.
And that's my only point. My only point is he is worth this to someone. He may not be worth it to you, and he may not be a great value to the gathering of GMs across the NFL. There's somebody out there that's going to pay him money. He will get Devontae Smith money in the offseason. T. Higgins will too. Higgins will get top of the market, $30 million. Somebody will give it to him. Maybe the Chargers will be one that'll give it to him.
Yeah, New
England. But then there will be a Commanders or a Bills or somebody that will come in and they will give Brandon Ayuk $26 million.
It'll be New England or Washington. So, I mean, this is the question this is the perpetual question that you deal with wide receivers. Because how many of these guys have we seen get their money and then you never hear from them again? Because you wind up going to play with either a young or a bad quarterback and you become the guy. There's no Christian McCaffrey to take a heat away from you. There's no Deebo Samuel. There's no George Kittle. Now you're the dude, and we figure out that you're a jag. Just a guy. And that's what I think with Brandon Ayuk. I think if you put him in Washington right now, even as much as I like the receivers that Washington has, he's just a guy. Is he consistently going to beat number one coverage? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Arizona's another one that I look at.
Arizona's already invested.
In Marvin Harrison?
Yes. Okay, so let me give you an example on Brandon Ayuk. So he had 4. He had 700-yard games last year. Do you know who they were against?
Okay. Who?
Washington. Baltimore, who didn't have Marlon Humphrey, if I remember correctly. Seattle. That was pretty impressive. Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, Arizona, and Pittsburgh. Awesome. That was a handful of the worst secondaries in the NFL last year.
Mm-hmm.
But weird, when he went up against really good ones, even as bad as Philadelphia was, he was irrelevant. Jacksonville, because they were pretty much at full strength at that point. He was irrelevant. Cleveland, he was targeted 10 times. He had 4 catches, and one of them was 36 yards long. Dallas, he was irrelevant. The Rams, twice, he was irrelevant. I'm good. And by the way, if you check the metrics of what he does when Debo's in the lineup and what he does when he's not, it would give me the angina before I paid him a boatload of money.
Which way does that go? He's better when he's not around?
He's better when he has the guys to take heat off of him. When he gets double covered, he goes night-night.
Okay.
And that's what, I mean, if you're getting paid like a number one receiver, that's what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase, it doesn't matter if it's, T. Higgins or MC Hammer on the other side. It doesn't matter. I beat number one coverage every single time you throw it at me. Justin Jefferson, double me. I don't care. Buffalo Bills doubled him for an entire game. Didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's the difference.
Those are the guys who pay elite money too.
Brandon Ayuk to me is the 7 that thinks he's a 10, and now he wants to get paid like a 1. I'll pass. I won't even consider it.
Nope. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Brandon Ayuk wants more money. Should he make more money? Absolutely. Should he make elite money? Again, somebody's going to pay it to him. But it's going to be a franchise that you don't even kind of believe in. And if you're Brandon Ayuk, is that what you want to do? If I want to chase money, okay, I'll go chase money if that's your goal. Just don't come crying when you don't win anything. That's going to be a big problem.
There's also a merit to how dumb did you have to be to have this conversation on a FaceTime and not know it was going to get out. Doesn't really strike me as much a team guy, does it?
Yeah. I don't know that he really cared at that point.
That's kind of my point.
And that's where he's at.
We're a month out from training camp and you don't care? Okay. Yeah, I didn't need a reason to not pay you, but I appreciate you giving me one.
In this week's Marketer, you hear about the importance of local radio. Marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Progressive asks, what do a middle school slumber party,
Let's stay up all night. Yeah!
a sleep-deprived girl, an early morning paper route, and a poorly thrown rolled-up newspaper have in common?
Hey, my window!
They can become a fast-breaking news story.
Sorry, Mr. Thompson.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though, we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or
30 seconds.
@gmail.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Jeremy, is this today? Tight Ends and Friends concert in Nashville, Tennessee. Have you seen this?
I have not.
So Tight End University is apparently meeting. And in Nashville, they're doing a concert tonight.
Is Taylor Swift the headliner?
Well, that's where I'm headed with this. Like, this is the first time I'm seeing this. So Tight End University, hosted by George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Greg Olson. They're all listed to be there tonight. So does that mean that they'll be bringing her in for a special appearance?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think. Sure. I mean, look, I've been to some corporate events before where the guest appearance didn't make a whole lot of sense. But Tight End U featuring Tay-Tay is, I don't think so.
I don't think Tight End University is bringing in Taylor Swift.
I'm shocked they didn't do it at Texas A&M and go to that George Strait concert that had 5 gajillion people.
They did. Congratulations to him, by the way. Setting the record for the biggest ticketed concert in U.S. history.
I mean, and the King deserves it.
110,900 and some people at Texas A&M.
I love George Strait. I don't even try to hide it. He is as good as it gets.
I was gonna say, why would you try to hide that? Why would you be ashamed of your love for George Strait?
George Strait's the man.
If you're into that country music thing.
Oh, Troubadour? Yes. You don't do better than Troubadour, okay? And that's also a song that if you ever see Jeremy in a karaoke bar and he starts singing it, I should have left 5 drinks ago. No doubt.
I wish I knew what song you were talking about.
You've never heard Why does your musical taste suck so bad?
I'm sure I have. I don't listen to country music.
Oh, you should. It's so good.
Yeah, is it? So?
Look, okay, I've heard what you pass off as music, so I don't think you should be casting aspersions on the whole genre.
Some acts I like, some acts I don't. I never really listened to George Strait, so.
I don't like a lot of modern country, but the more I say that, the more I find myself listening to Jelly Roll. I love Jelly Roll.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, and can we stop calling him that, by the way? I feel like his name needs to change because he lost like a person.
Yeah, but I think he's still the biggest act in country music, isn't he?
Probably. He was a big old biggin.
Right. You know, we call him like sugar-free Jelly Roll.
Yeah, now he's like
the same ring to it.
Now he's like a Bear Claw at best.
He's like a stevia roll.
He's an apple fritter at this point. Still not great for you, but not as bad as it once was.
Right.
You're trying to find Troubadour right now, aren't
I
you?
am. I'm looking for it. And
if it's not in our system, I'm going to be angry.
Well, I'm sure it is.
That's one of the best songs
it's hard
of all
to carry
time.
on a conversation and search through this at the same time.
Well, I mean, you could do it going into the next segment, which you get like 3 minutes.
I probably
to find
could, but I'll forget by then. You're not good at reminding me of things.
Oh,
so.
Well, the people that listen to us on YouTube will know I remind you of things all the time, and sometimes it just goes in one ear and right out the other.
Of course it does. I don't listen to you. Anyway, tonight, Tight Ends and Friends in Nashville. Special musical guests.
Garth Brooks.
Booked to join.
Tight End You, that feels like a Garth Brooks show.
Could be.
Where the bodies
Although, will he show up at a rival bar? Because this is being held at the Brooklyn Bowl, and didn't he just open up a place down the street from there?
It's called like Friends in Low Places or something dumb.
Why is that dumb?
I want to show up at a Garth Brooks concert just holding a sign that says, "Tell us where the bodies are, Garth." That's the greatest beef in the history of the internet.
Tell us where the bodies are.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
That was Norm Macdonald, right?
Tom Segura.
Or Tom Segura.
Tommy Segura has been claiming that Garth Brooks was a serial killer for about 3 years now.
I remember that.
Tell us where the bodies were buried, Garth. Give the family some closure.
I think it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool to go to an event with Travis Kelce and George Kittle.
You'd die.
I just would.
As the requisite.
Please don't bring your girlfriend.
As the requisite. Oh no, because she's leaving. She'll be a member of Tight End U too. Don't make the joke. I see it. I see it on your face.
I'm trying to hold it back.
You'd be trying to hold her back too. Don't talk to George Kittle. No. You want me to introduce you to Garth Brooks? That's how bad things happen. Stay away.
Are you trying to say that Travis Kelce would have something to worry about with George Kittle in the room?
No. I was talking about you said don't bring your girlfriend to that. I wasn't done. I think Travis would do just fine. Mm-hmm. I was more talking about you'd die because I know how tight ends drink.
I didn't say I wanted to do shots with them. I just said it'd be kind of cool to be at the same party as them.
You wouldn't have a choice. You drink it or it's going to hit you in the face. Your call.
Yes, Jeremy. Everybody who buys a ticket to the Tight Ends and Friends party, they're all going to get to do shots with George Kittle.
No doubt.
And
that's actually what the party is.
It's all for charity. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just how many cold beers and tequila shooters can Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and whoever else do?
Yeah. And
Greg Olsen shows up to make sure everybody gets home safe.
Right. Morgan Wallen shows up to this thing. Everybody's getting chairs thrown at them. It's just going to be a wild night in Nashville tonight.
Let's go. That's the kind of party I want to get
Tuesday night
to.
Karaoke events. Jeremy getting rowdy at Tuesday night karaoke events.
I have sung karaoke with several very famous people. One day I will tell you of those stories on one of our fireside chats on our Patreon page.
Jeremy and I disagree about a lot of things. But I think one thing that we can agree on, Jeremy, right? You're on my side on this one. That the new alternative helmet for the Baltimore Ravens has the dumbest logo in the history of sports on it.
It's not the dumbest logo in the history of sports. It's not good.
I like Brownie the Elf much better.
I don't. I don't at all.
If you haven't seen it yet, Baltimore Ravens is circulating on social media today. New uniforms out, right? So everybody, when they got the new uniforms, they got to put out their graphics. The Baltimore Ravens have a new alt uniform that looks like something that the Western Carolina Catamounts could possibly wear. All purple uniforms with gold streaks going up the helmet, racing stripes, whatever the hell you call those. And then it's got the goofiest looking Muppetized version of the Baltimore Ravens logo. Instead of being the side view with the beak coming out, that slick look, it's a front view, and it looks like a Muppet making the sound of meh. It's the worst thing I think I've ever seen in my life. And I think we could all rally around the fact that this ain't it.
I don't mind the purple helmet. I don't love the Fozzie Bear bird.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It looks like a demented gonzo with red eyeballs.
It's not good.
No.
It's not good.
No. You should have done the shield. If you were going to do an alternate logo on the helmet, you should have done the shield.
Or
I could have got.
Yeah.
Done.
Or the Maryland flag. I'm always in favor of that being added.
And it would be part of the shield. If you're talking about those god-awful Maryland Terrapins helmets.
Those are not god-awful.
Yes, they are. They're terrible. They're the worst in sports.
Tank, in fairness, I think the CEO of Under Armour, I'm going to go with his fashion sense over yours.
I'm not.
A grown man that's 200 pounds named Tank that wears jerseys to work. I don't know that you're the page 6 that we're looking for.
Well,
but
you can disagree and be wrong if you want to, but
your opinion has been lodged. We will remember it. I don't think those Maryland uniforms are bad at all. Yeah. I do agree with you on this Baltimore thing, though. I don't like any time. Why do we do the unichrome? That everything is the same color. I don't understand that.
What do you mean?
Well, the jersey's purple, the pants are purple, the helmet's purple. Why are we doing? Could you not have done this with a black jersey? Because to me, that the purple lid with the blacked out jersey would look really good. The logo's bad regardless. I just always hate when you go unichrome. It looks like a giant group of ballet dancers, and I'm Seacrest out. I don't need to see you in your unitard.
Yeah. It's just I need a little breakup in that. The whole color rush thing I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I agree
I'm not
with you.
About it either.
I agree with you. The Seattle Seahawks and their neon green all ugh.
It works with white.
Gross.
It works with black.
It doesn't work with any other color though.
Exactly. And even with those two, you need color to break it up. Those Minnesota uniforms, great. Jets all whites, I love.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get into like all green. You look like a Christmas ornament. Stop that.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Hype trains in the NFL. We'll look into the biggest hype train of the 2024 NFL season when we come back from the break. Will be our off-season recap, season preview for the Houston Texans.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast.
And we're clear.
For outdoor plans, not bad. Is it warm? Yes. Is it uncomfortably hot? No, but maybe toward the end of the week. 84, partial sun this afternoon, a little breezy. Tonight becoming cloudy, will drop to the low 60s. Tomorrow, some partial sun with clouds, low 80s. Then we reset. We get a little hotter Thursday, Friday. Sunny Thursday, 86. Friday sunshine will tickle 90. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Spruce Pine Chevrolet GMC.
Kick off summer at Spruce Pine Chevrolet GMC at 36 Chevrolet Boulevard or online at sprucepinechevrolet.com. Enjoy great deals whether leasing or buying with the largest selection of Chevrolets and GMCs in Western North Carolina.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Coming back to Las Vegas. September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
Don't miss.
Big Sean, Camila Cabello, Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, Hozier, Keith Urban, New Kids on the Block, Paramore, Shabuzi, The Black Crowes, Thomas Rhett, Victoria Monet,
And more.
Get tickets to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, right now, before they sell out.
At AXS.com.
Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning's hottest summer sale is going on now. 15% off all cleaning services. Mention
mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 15% off your next service. Use promo code SUMMERSALE when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
I have done in my career literally thousands of joint replacements.
Meet Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon who now advises patients try all they can do to avoid the knife and consider regenerative medicine.
I myself was able to continue skiing for 10 years after my knees started to be a problem because I accessed regenerative medicine.
Now, after 20 years of study, research, teaching, publications, and clinical experience, Dr. Scheinkup is regarded as one of America's true pioneers.
This is the future of medicine.
Dr. Scheinkup came to QC Kinetics after seeing what they were doing around the country, helping tens of thousands of patients get lasting relief from joint pain with no surgery and no drugs.
QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333.
Already there.
828-333-9517.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and we are excited to kick off the Parks Promise Community Hero Program. This year, we'll be celebrating nonprofits throughout Western North Carolina that live out our core value to do better and be better for the communities that we serve. There are so many organizations doing amazing things, from being a helpful hand to a soft voice or a warm heart to embrace their neighbors. We can't wait to introduce you to our 2024 Parks Promise Community Heroes. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Here's to the helpers. To the ones who grow up knowing that life is about more than finishing first. It's about finishing together. At Ingalls, we know that doing your part doesn't mean doing for yourself. It means doing what you can. Even though you might not seek the spotlight, we see you, and we're grateful. Ingalls. Low prices, love the savings.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
We're back in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, and it's time to get weird, Jeremy Greene. And as we were, talking in that last segment, you said George Strait, love George Strait, Troubadour, awesome song.
It's a great song.
Here. To George Strait for selling out Kyle Field. I know he's a big deal in the country world. The only song that I noticed just by looking at, would you like to guess what? I see two songs on this list in front of me that I recognize. Would you like to guess which ones they are?
Check yes or no.
That's one.
Amarillo by Morning.
Nope.
I got 100 that you should know.
Then you have a
1%
chance. Nope. All My Exes Live in Texas.
Oh, I should.
The only two George Strait songs that I know.
You should have known. I mean, you should have known that one from me because I play that one and really complain from time to time. You can deduce why.
Yeah. I'm a rather uncultured swine, if you will, when it comes to country music.
Look, that song is as good as it gets. And the fact you've never heard it makes me sad. We should have a George Strait sing-along on this here program very soon. I love George Strait. My story is about a couple in Exmouth, England. They were getting married. Their names are Emmy Teed and Josh Titmouth, which, if I ever start an OnlyFans, that's another good potential name. They had 110 guests coming to their wedding, but then they had a problem the day of the wedding. Their caterer fell ill.
Oh, no.
With E. coli. Okay. I'm gonna pause this story right here and just go, if your caterer themselves has E. coli, you have hired a bad caterer. That would be hard to defend. Hey, where'd you get this from? You remember that one that had E. coli? That's where we got it from. I think I'm gonna pass. I will eat my cup. Anyway, caterer calls and cancels the day of the wedding, which of course causes a great big problem because you got 110 people that you have to feed. Well, they called Crispies. I don't know what that is. Apparently it's a British chain that does fish and chips, and they supplied them with 110 plates for their wedding. And that got me thinking, if this happened to Tank Spencer, you and the Mrs. Tank were getting wed again.
Yep.
Your caterer cancels the last minute. Who are you calling?
Mom. I'm calling my mom.
I knew that was your answer.
Actually, I'm calling my mom and my sister.
I knew that was your answer.
Hey, they did the catering the first wedding, and it was fine.
Well, I mean, as somebody that has eaten food that was supplied by the Mrs. Tank and actually the Mr. Tank.
Yep.
Mr. Tank makes the best pimento cheese that's ever been created on God's green earth.
Yes, he does.
And it's not really all that close.
That habanero that he puts in there. Oh, so good.
See, if I called my mom, she would literally pull her hair out and then just contract somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
My mom stresses about cooking for 4 people, let alone 114.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what we do. Like, we circle the wagons in our family, and we'll pick up the pieces and figure it out. But the ace in the hole is my sister, who she runs the kitchen up at Mission, so she cooks for a lot of people every day. So she's got this kind of down. So I got a little bit of a cheat code. Now, the normal person, where would you turn for that? Sam's Club?
No. No,
I'm getting those big quarter-pound Nathan's hot dogs. They come like $1 each.
No, because then you got to cook it, and you got to have a large kitchen to do that. I mean, I've got a handful of answers. My first call,
Taco Bell. That was the first one.
Taco Bell is in the list.
And it's not cheap anymore.
It can be. First of all, if you're not ordering fast food through an app, I don't know what you're doing with your life. They make it cheaper just for you to order it through the app because they know. We had to pay some of these dum-dums $20 an hour because, well, they whined and we caved, and they don't actually know what our menu looks like. Order it through the app so they can see it and they won't boo-boo it. I mean, the Colonel was my second call.
Yeah. Never go wrong with the
You
Colonel.
can never go wrong with the Colonel.
Has anybody ever showed up to anything and seen the Colonel there and went, oh, crap, they got the Colonel? No, you showed up to any picnic or family gathering, family reunion. If there was a bucket of KFC on the table, you were jazzed.
Oh,
you were
100%.
ready to go.
And straight up, as a man that carries a shiv in his pocket, some people call it a pocket knife, I call it shiv. Just for instances like this, if I don't get a breast out of that bucket, somebody's getting cut. Straight up. You stick me with a wing, we gonna fight. I'm a big man.
Extra crispy or original recipe?
I would prefer extra crispy, but in a pinch, I will settle for regular.
Yes. It's all fine, but the extra crispy is the Cadillac.
But if I don't get a breast, somebody's going to get stabbed.
Wow. We're not fighting over, no. We like the dark meat in our house. We don't fight over the breasts.
Yeah, I need the breast. See, I'm lucky. I'm married to Amy. She doesn't like the breast, oddly enough. So I get all of them in my house.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the bucket's awesome, because they send 3 and I know I'm going to get to eat all 3 of them.
It's time to talk about the Houston Texans.
Patrick Holt said you should call Holt Brothers Barbecue. That's also a very good call.
I mean, if we got the time, yeah. If you got the time, we'll definitely give you a call.
I got the money, honey, if you got the time.
The Houston Texans, the hype train is real. In 2 years, this team has gone from laughing stock to being a legit contender, roster-wise. The question is, will they be able to pay off on that, live up to the expectations in just year 2 of the C.J. Stroud era? All of the pieces seem to be in line. The number one thing that holds this team back is what?
I don't have an answer to that.
Nothing?
I don't have an answer to that.
Nothing will hold this team back. If they falter, if they don't win, it will be because they were too what? Or they didn't do enough of?
The offensive line.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. I like that.
I mean, if you're saying,
yes.
You're telling me straight up, this doesn't go the way I think it will with the Texans. They're not a high-end AFC team. That's the only thing I can point to.
Mm-hmm.
Because that defense is going to be real good. And I don't know how you're supposed to stop the offense. I really don't. Tank Dell would be a 2 on every team in the NFL except the Houston Texans.
Yes.
He's their 3. And I'll be honest with you, Noah Brown's not that far behind him as their 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't even mentioned Dalton Schultz yet, or Joe Mixon, who's one of the best pass catchers in the NFL out of the backfield.
Yep. And never drops the ball either.
He never fumbles either.
That stat earlier today was put out by somebody in the fantasy football community, and it was the longest active streaks of not fumbling the football. With Joe Mixon was at 1 with 660 consecutive touches without dropping it. Number 2 was Tyler Algier, who has not fumbled in his career.
He hasn't fumbled a ball since high school.
No.
And I'm not even sure he did it in high school.
But he's at like 420-something touches, I think it was.
That sounds
There's
about right.
nobody else over 275 straight touches without a fumble in the NFL. Just an odd stat of the day. Houston is the real deal, and the only thing that I think is going to hold them back is inexperience. Just not being ready for the moment. Not being able to come up with the perfect scenario in the perfect time to beat a Kansas City or actually that's the only one I really got.
Well, but you also got to look at one of the beauties to me of how this Texan roster has been put together. Name me the position group that doesn't have a guy that's been incredibly successful. Just look up and down the roster and tell me where you find a guy that has never had high-end success.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking played in the conference championship games. Some of them played in Super Bowls. It's harder to find than you think. Because you got one on the line with Shaq Mason. You got Joe Mixon out of the backfield. You got Stephon Diggs. You got Dalton Schultz. Then you go to the defense. You got Daniil Hunter, who has never had the super high-end success, but he's been there. He's dealt with the expectations.
Yeah, he's played in the playoffs.
Jimmy Ward in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a veteran in every single room.
Yes.
And to me, it's the
all by
beauty of
design.
how they built this roster.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely all by design.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. This is
Ryans.
where I really see. Look, we made a lot of jokes at the expense of Nick Caserio as he was building this team.
Mm-hmm.
Because it didn't make a lot of sense until you found the quarterback. Then you find the quarterback, and all of a sudden, now I get it. Now I get it. You had to go spend the money to get the elite, second edge rusher. You've even got Derek Barnett behind that.
Mm-hmm.
You had to pony up to get the true number one receiver. I think you already had one, but you wanted a true, no doubt number one. I mean, Ben Skowronek is the 7th option. Think about what I just said. He was a starter on a Super Bowl team. Stop. That's your 7. To me, this is top 3 most talented roster in the NFL.
I would agree with that.
And the only poison pill is the healthier quarterback. If something happened to C.J. Stroud, which God forbid, but if it did, things could go sideways.
Well, it could go sideways.
But I mean, even then, you've got 2 guys.
You can almost say that for
NFL.
every team in the NFL, right? You've got Case Keenum behind him. You've got Davis Mills as well. And you got Tim Boyle on the roster. Hopefully, you'll never have to get that far.
You should really put very little into that. Ask me how I know.
Hopefully, you'll never have to get past C.J. Stroud. It all looks great when you got the quarterback. No worrying about what ifs because it all came together. Now Caserio looks like one of the smartest guys in the league, and he very well could have a championship on his hands here very soon. Because the timeline on this team is pretty long with the young players that they have, and if you have those building blocks, then I can continue to play this same game that teams like the New York Jets and the Philadelphia Eagles play and the San Francisco 49ers play of each and every year. I'm going to get the most out of my money. I'm going to go find these little mercenaries that can come in and play my system and fill slot until I find the next building block for this team. I need another young pass rusher to go with Will Anderson. I don't have one of those right now, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to get you Daniil Hunter. He's going to do the job for 2 years until we find that guy.
They also have the same thing that we said with the Jets yesterday. The schedule starts really nicely.
Mm-hmm.
As you open up with 2 of your first 8 games are against the Colts, who will have, we think, a young starter who's very much getting his feet under him in Anthony Richardson. You play the Bears before they've had a real chance to gel, before Caleb Williams is really battle-tested in any way. You play the Vikings with Sam Darnold, the Jaguars early, the Bills, the Patriots, and then you do have one at the Packers, and that's not great. But other than that, I could easily see a path that Houston starts 7-1. Now, after that,
next half,
it's not so fun because you go to the Jets, the Lions, at the Cowboys, the Titans twice, Jaguars, Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens. That is an evil second half of the schedule.
Yes. Not all of those games are super daunting. I wouldn't be terribly afraid of Tennessee, although that is
but that's a defense
game,
that's
so
tough to deal with.
Sure. Yeah, no doubt. And the
you've
secondary,
given it half
right,
a year to jail, too.
Yeah.
Tennessee's a team I would want to play early, not late.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Jacksonville could be a team that's off the rails by that point, but even if that's the case, even if you're not afraid of Tennessee, and Jacksonville might be a team that's off the rails, that's still – and unless throw Dallas in there. Dallas is a team that we've talked about could, be the biggest disappointment of the NFL this year.
Yeah, Dallas is a team I want to play late, not early.
That's still Jets, Lions, Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens to end out my year. This is a playoff team, no doubt. But can they be the elite? Right, they were a playoff team last year. Now you got to start building on that.
That's my biggest fear, is that you have all of those battles late in the cold and you go into the playoffs beat up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what would worry me if I was Houston. Talent-wise, I don't know that there's I don't think I could get to 3 teams I would take the roster from 1 to 53 over Houston. Do you?
No.
I think the Jets are up there
in that discussion. Yep.
The Jets are up there. Philadelphia's up there. Kansas City's, you've always got to put them in it because they've got the one. Other than that, I don't even know that I don't even know there's a team I would put in the same ballpark as them. They don't have a hole.
Which, again, is probably the feat of the decade.
It is.
In the NFL. Is. 2 years ago, when Lovie Smith was the coach of this team, and they were just renting players year to year.
Rex Burkhead. To me, he is the face of that god-awful era of Houston Texan football.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at it now, and good Lord have mercy. And you have one of the best coaches in the league, in my opinion.
Yep.
Thursday,
coach.
Thursday is going to be a we're going to talk about some coaches on Thursday.
Okay.
Because you talk about a difference in haves and have-nots. Whoo. I just did my power rankings 1 to 32, and you talk about there is a spot in that league. I didn't brace Tank for this. But Thursday, when we convene, I guarantee you there will be two names that are the divide, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right. That'll come your way on Thursday of this week. We got to take our top of the hour break here in just a second. Houston Texans, though, we both feel they're contenders. We both feel they're top 3 talented team in the league. Only thing standing in their way is actually doing it on the field. We found time after time, year after year, that's more easier said than done for some teams. Has Houston found it out quickly? Yes. Now it's about maintaining it, staying there. And if you're healthy, there's no reason that Houston shouldn't pay off on the expectation of them being a contender and then building on a championship to come in the near future. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Getting quality employees to fill positions
All right, we're clear.
is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills.
All right, we're back at 0-2.
Then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Join us for a day of fun and the best local and regional hard ciders, mead, apple wine, and seltzers at the Carolina Cider Fest, June 22nd on the South Slope. Sample and purchase your favorite cider. Indulge in artisanal bites from local chefs, groove to live music, and more. VIP starts at 11:30 a.m., hosted by South Slope Cheese, and a private cider and cheese pairing course. General admission starts at 12:30 p.m. Grab your tickets now. Benefiting NC Cider Association and brought to you by Shea & Company. To get your tickets, visit CarolinaCiderFest.com.
Here's to the helpers. To the ones who grow up knowing that life is about more than finishing first. It's about finishing together. At Ingalls, we know that doing your part doesn't mean doing for yourself. It means doing what you can. Even though you might not seek the spotlight, we see you, and we're grateful. Ingalls. Low prices, love the savings.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
CoverGirls don't need a filter. Introducing CoverGirl's Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence, the skincare makeup hybrid that delivers a plump, more youthful-looking complexion. Made with a plant-based retinol alternative, it reduces the appearance of wrinkles and increases skin's firmness. Pigmented capsules burst and blend, leaving a sheer, even tint, while hydrating for up to 24 hours. Available in 8 adaptable shades. Radiant skin is only a pump away with CoverGirl's Simply Ageless Essence.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now.
Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction.
I'm convinced anybody that doesn't like pineapples
Call
is serial
WNC
killer.
Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. I'd agree with that.
Your Exergen Temple Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And I put strawberries right there with
outdoor
it.
plans, not bad. Is it warm? Yes. Is it uncomfortably hot? No, but maybe toward the end of the week. 84, partial sun.
My
this
lunch came
afternoon,
with a fruit cup that I didn't
Tonight
know about.
becoming cloudy.
Ah.
Tomorrow, some partial sun with clouds, low 80s. Then we reset. We get a little hotter Thursday, Friday. Sunny Thursday, 86. Friday, sunshine will tickle 90. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stager.
This report is sponsored by Spruce Pine Chevrolet GMC.
Kick off summer at Spruce Pine Chevrolet GMC at 36 Chevrolet Boulevard. We're online at sprucepinechevrolet.com. Enjoy great deals whether leasing or buying with the largest selection of Chevrolets and GMCs in Western North Carolina.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on it.
Back in 30.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New
Denver.
loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville. The Sportsocracy is live on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. You can watch us live on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel.
And sometimes you'll get to see a random shot of me or Tank drilling a bowl of fruit. Maybe a big old bowl of nuts, which I think my desk right now looks like it's being supported by Blue Diamond Almonds. I think the joists are actually Blue Diamond Almond cans.
Aha. Okay. All right. He's not the snack counter already over there for the last
Snacks
hour
are important.
of the program here.
Snacks are important. Don't ever want a fat man like me to you don't want that blood sugar to get too low. You talk about unmanageable. I will become it.
Yep. Welcome, everybody, into the third hour of the program. Today, we will be off tomorrow for the Juneteenth holiday. Back with you on Thursday. So everybody enjoy tomorrow's day off. I know I will. I spend copious amounts of time at my pool. So excited.
I'm actually thinking about going to my pool tomorrow by myself.
Interesting.
I've never done that before.
It's not real fun. I mean, unless you just like swimming laps or something.
Nope, don't want to swim laps. I want to pack a cooler.
Okay.
I want to put earbuds in my ears.
Yeah.
I want to lay by the pool, and basically, whether there's anybody there or not, in my head, there won't be.
Okay. Just kind of sit out in front of everybody and not talk to anybody.
Correct.
Okay.
That's that's my social distancing. I'm being social, but I need you to stay the hell away from me.
Yeah.
You have your fun. Just have it over there.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like going. I don't like going anywhere basically by myself. The pool is one of them. It's just no fun. Swim a couple of laps and then be done with it. Then walk off.
Anywhere that I can consume beverages.
I can do that at home.
Well, I mean, anybody can.
I can take my shirt off and drink at home and not feel judged by anybody. So I don't think I'm going to my neighborhood pool just to hang out shirtless. I'm not feel like I'm in that good of a shape.
Stephen Tao said we've been working 3 days a week for a month. Well, Stephen, you're not wrong. B, we're here all week next week. And then the week after that, we're here for 2 days. So, okay. Well, that's 4th of July.
It's the way the schedule broke out.
Which is also HWA's birthday. So,
you know, we also work 8 months without a day off. So
correct.
There is that as well. That subject has come up several times in our households. So
what, that we're like that we work like teachers?
Yeah, well, I mean it's a 7 day a week gig once it starts football season. So I can take a couple of shorties during the summer. Summer really hurting anybody?
Hey, we're here for you during football season. Everything else, we're resting up, getting our mind right.
I know you guys don't you don't get enough of the team previews, and well, that's why we give the people what they want here in the Sportsocracy. Each and every team we will cover throughout the coming weeks here, as we talk about who's got something to prove in the NFL in 2024. The hype train of the Houston Texans, I would say that hype train, well justified. Hype train of the Green Bay Packers, though, that's closer to me to, I don't know if there's really, is there something to be super high on with the Green Bay Packers?
Oh, yeah. And there are definitely things to like about that team.
Sure there are.
But
what I'm saying of, as in we're a contender or close to being a contender, should fans be excited right now?
Depends on what you're contending for. I mean, are you happy contending for a playoff spot? Because that you should be fine there.
Mm-hmm.
They're the two in the NFC North to me. There's just one great big question mark that this is not as answered as people are making it sound. I mean, did you see Shannon Sharp's list of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL yesterday?
No, I did not.
Pat Mahomes was 1.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson was 2.
Mm-hmm.
C.J. Stroud was 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love was 4, and Josh Allen was 5. And
wow.
And the pants I was wearing when I saw that list, they will never be the same again.
No.
Because they have been defecated in.
Yes. That's madness. In what world do you have to, what kind of crimes do you have to smoke to think that Jordan Love is the 4th best quarterback in the NFL? What metric could you base that on to convince someone of that argument? It sounds like headline grabbing.
I literally left that just completely silent because I don't have a good answer for you there.
Sounds like you really want a lot of fans in Green Bay to watch your show. Because that's a lie.
I don't know exactly what it is that that people don't see. Look, I've admitted that, you know, Jordan Love's not as bad as I thought he was coming out. He's not as good as you're thinking he is right now. And if I hear one more person say he almost single-handedly led them to beating San Francisco, they almost beat San Francisco in spite of him, not because of him. It had damn near nothing to do with him, if I was being really honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a great game against Dallas. Awesome. Please do me a favor and name me the Green Bay Packer that didn't. Who didn't walk away from that day going, yeah, that was sweet. I'm glad that happened.
Yeah.
You also seem to be forgetting you lost to the Giants on Monday Night Football. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it might be the worst game I've seen an NFL quarterback have in the last 3 years. You lost it against Tampa Bay in a game that he just didn't really get anything going.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, you beat the Bears and the Vikings and the Panthers and that god-awful Lions defense and that god-awful Chargers defense, and you got one against the Chiefs that, well, if Marquez Valdez-Scantling could catch, you wouldn't have. Mm-hmm. This is what you're defending as the fourth best quarterback in this league? Are you out of your mind? To me, there's no fan base in all of sports right now that is more set up for a horrific disappointment than the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. Mm-hmm. Because I just look around at Jordan Love and go, okay, and this is a metric that I use on quarterbacks. Who's the best team in the NFL? All right, you have to bet all your dollars right now on a team to win the Super Bowl come the middle of February of next year. Mm-hmm. Who is that team?
Kansas City Chiefs.
If Pat Mahomes got abducted by space aliens right now,
yeah,
and Jordan Love became the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, how many games do they win?
I'd say 10.
I'd have gone 6.
Really?
Look at the schedule. It's the most evil schedule I've ever seen in my life. We prop that team up because of Pat Mahomes. Now, conversely, Pat Mahomes becomes the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. Fact or fiction, they're the favorite in the NFC, and they might be the favorite in the NFL.
Yes.
Exactly. So that means there's a chasm between Mahomes and Jordan Love. Now, let's just go down the list. Teams in the NFC. Do you feel better about the Lions with Jared Goff, or would you feel better about them with Jordan Love?
Goff.
There you go. Los Angeles Rams. Would you feel better with them with Jordan Love or with Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford.
49ers with Brock Purdy.
No, I think I'm on Brock.
I'm on Brock as well. That one is certainly closer. Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts.
Jalen.
Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott.
I'll take Dak.
That's the line for me.
You'll
to me,
Jordan
Dak Prescott and Jordan Love are the same player.
Okay.
If you can prop them up, they're fine. They're fine. They're never going to win you playoff games. I firmly believe that. If the roster around them is right. And now look, this is not a shot. There's not a lot. There are not a lot of quarterbacks that can win games by themselves. And when I say by themselves, I mean what's around them doesn't matter in the way that Pat Mahomes is doing right now. He won with Tyreek Hill. He won with Juju Smith-Schuster. He won with Travis Kelce. He's won with Marquez Valdez-Scantling. It's all worked. Mm. I just don't, and I'll go to the team we were just talking about. If C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love traded places right now, how does your view on each of these teams change?
Well, I mean, it'd be a lot closer for me on the Houston side of whether or not they're going to win that division. They're no longer a Super Bowl contender.
I'd be talking about Green Bay the way I talk about Houston. I'd be looking at Green Bay going, that's the team I've got low-key bets on because you have a quarterback that I think can win. Not by himself, but in spite of limitations around him, and this roster doesn't have limitations around him. That should tell you everything you need to know. Jordan Love's fine. He's a mid-tier quarterback in this league. If you want to put him at 10 or you want to put him at 20, I don't really care. When you start talking about putting him in the top 5, you're insane. Mm-hmm. I think literally you'd have to smoke crack to get him into the top 5. Or you're pandering.
Yes.
Which, sorry, a lot of sports talk show hosts, Shannon Sharp, in this case, you 100% are.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get ahead of a narrative, and it's going to make you look really foolish. You're putting Jordan Love ahead of Joe Burrow. You're putting Jordan Love ahead of Justin Herbert. Are you out of your mind?
Green Bay Packers fans, they got a lot of eyeballs. They got a lot of eyeballs and a lot of money.
But look, the roster's really good.
Base. It is really good, but that's also a fan base that you pander to. Some people pander to, not you specifically.
I was about to say, I don't. I think
it's a fan base that many pander to because it's a heritage franchise along the lines of the Dallas Cowboys.
Ask yourself this.
Yeah.
How many elite quarterbacks has a team ever felt the urge to put 3 legit starting caliber running backs around? The Kansas City Chiefs are 1 injury away from calling me to play running back.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they don't care. The Cincinnati Bengals, yeah, they drafted a couple guys. They're 5th-round guys. That's fine. We're good. We'll roll with that and Samaje Perine. I don't care. It's fine. Green Bay had to go spend money on Josh Jacobs. They invested high-end draft capital in A.J. Dillon and Marshawn Lloyd. That's the team That's the team that sees Jordan Love every single day.
Mm-hmm.
They've drafted, 7 receivers in the last 3 years? Not including tight ends, where they've drafted 3 of those. What does that tell you? Kansas City doesn't do that. Cincinnati doesn't do that. Buffalo doesn't do that. The Baltimore Ravens don't do that because they have elite quarterbacks. Those are legit, actual, honest to God, legit elite quarterbacks.
Although the Baltimore Ravens should do that.
All right, so just think of what I just said. Name me the team that's got an elite quarterback that really spends a lot of time investing in the receivers around them. No, you catch that one. You got Jamar Chase. You had Stephon Diggs with Josh Allen. You have Zay Flowers with Lamar Jackson. You got one. And then everybody else, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, it's ancillary pieces that my quarterback's so good they're going to prop him up. Green Bay looks at Jordan Love and goes, no, we got to do that backwards. We need the receivers to prop him up while he's still cheap. That tells me you're not elite. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you're bad. That's what people hear. Oh, you're not a top 10 quarterback for me. Oh, you're too low on Jordan Love. You just don't understand. No, you're biased. You're biased because you wear a big block of cheddar on your head to Lambeau every week. I don't. It's real easy for me to watch him and go, you beat bad teams. You notoriously lose to good teams. That's also something I could say about probably 70% of the quarterbacks in the NFL.
You're rolling into a season with a choice between Kirk Cousins and Jordan Love. Which way you leaning?
Is Kirk healthy?
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins. One game to save my life, I'll take Kirk Cousins.
And I think that says everything you should know about
It's
Jordan
close.
Love because I'm right there with you. Look, I'm not saying Jordan Love is not going to turn into an elite quarterback.
I am saying
he possibly could. He's already better than we thought he was going to be, better than you thought he was going to be, Jeremy. And maybe he can develop into something with a couple of more years, but he's not that now. You're absolutely out of your mind if you think he is an elite, no doubt, top 5 quarterback right now in the NFL.
I'm saying insane. He'll never be an elite quarterback.
Okay. I'm not willing to say that.
I am, and I'll tell you why. Name me the quarterback that through his rookie deal was never at any point elite, that then became elite after you had to pay him. Mm-hmm. And before you tell me Geno Smith, that means you're telling me he was elite at any time. Elite. Didn't happen. He was good. I think Jordan Love's good right now. He's not great.
Mm-hmm.
And you're setting yourself up for total disaster because have you looked at that schedule? Mm-hmm. Have you looked up and down that schedule and realized that they have to play Philadelphia early? They have to play that Tennessee defense. They have to play that LA defense. They have to play the Houston defense. They have to play that Detroit defense. Chicago twice. San Francisco, Miami, Detroit again, Seattle, which I think is going to be a really good defense. That's a lot of high-end defenses that he has to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see it. To me, Green Bay's they're another one, like I said about New Orleans yesterday. This is a 9-8, 10-17. That's where they're at.
The problem is, I think fan bases convince themselves that they're a 12-plus win team,
mm-hmm.
and you're not there yet.
If you ever want to really make your brain hurt, go to social media. And now look, I'm calling out Green Bay right here. I could do this with probably over half of the teams in the league.
And when we get to their off seasons, we will.
No doubt.
We'll call them out as well.
Go to a fan page. Go to Facebook and just search Go Pack Go. Read the way their fan base talks about this team.
Mm-hmm.
This was a legit bad defense last year. I've gotten in arguments with people that think Jair Alexander is better than Sauce Gardner. And I'm not talking about one random kooky Madookie. I'm talking about I laughed and had 100 Packer fans go, "You just don't get it." Now, they don't know who I am, and they don't know what I do for a living, and that's fine. If you watch those two on tape and you can't see that, we don't have anything else to talk about. Mm-hmm. Because, frankly, you're not educated enough on this to understand what you're talking about. And it's not just there. It's the receiving core. It's Jordan Love. It's the running game. It's the defense. There's way more questions here than you want to believe. And hubris comes shortly before the fall, and I am afraid Green Bay fans are going to this whole Jordan Love's elite thing is going to age like a dairy product.
Yeah.
Kind of like it did when I said he was a bum that should be working at Home Depot.
Precisely. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when you get a it's not a lifetime treatment option, and they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 864-448-3772. That's
I got a minute here, right?
864-448-3772. 864.
Yeah.
37.
You still got 2 minutes.
Podcast, The Idaho Massacre, explores the aftermath of violence at the University of Idaho that left 4 families mourning and a 28-year-old doctoral student charged. But did his study of criminology play a part in the crime?
Of course, Brian Koberger's defense team is going to say he's not guilty. That's the only thing they can say. They can't say anything else, so they have to say this.
Listen to The Idaho Massacre on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search The Idaho Massacre.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search.
No, there's an Ingles commercial.
Okay.
Available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today.
Yeah.
Is there a way to work around music in a video clip?
Or Clarissa Sells
like to get the music out?
gmail.com.
My name is
You just delete it.
It's all in one file.
Farms, we think our fruits and vegetables are some of the best you're going to find. We've been working with Ingles for years.
No, open it in Adobe and delete it. That's the only thing I got.
Right here in the Great
But it's all in one WAV
next to
file.
the Tuckasegee River.
Is there a way to separate them?
Perfect place to grow our produce. If you
No. I don't think so. We'll talk about it. obvious reasons. They've rebuilt, right? They've got Jim Harbaugh is now the head coach there. They have shipped away their familiar faces. No more Eckler, no more Williams, no more Keenan Allen's gone. Got a lot of different things going on with the Chargers. But then the Rams were that surprise team from last year. Right? Can they build on that this year? Let's go Rams first.
These two teams are wildly interesting to me for two completely different reasons.
Okay. What's the Rams' reason?
I feel like nobody talks about them. I feel like they get no love. When you start talking about teams that could win the NFC, I don't think I've heard one person say the Rams. Have you?
No, I haven't. It's mostly Detroit, Philadelphia. And then after that, it's a mishmash of, I've seen Dallas mentioned several times, which is
insane.
It's out of the realm of
right now
for me. And then San Francisco.
So right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, official sportsbook of the Sportsocracy, where would you say the Rams fit in futures to win the NFC?
I would say 4th.
You're too high.
5th.
Too high.
Really? How low is it? 8?
8. Wow. They're behind the Bears, Falcons, Packers, Cowboys, Eagles, Lions, and 49ers. And 3 of those, I think, are absolutely insane.
The Bears?
The Bears is insane. The Falcons is insane.
The Falcons is crazy.
The Cowboys is insane.
I guess I understand the Bears more than the Falcons, but still.
With a rookie quarterback who, honest to God, looked like he was legally blind in minicamp. Yeah, sorry. It's going to be a no from me, dog. And I just look at the Rams and go, you fly under the radar better than practically any team I've ever seen in sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I look top to bottom, and there's not a lot of things to knock them on. They've done an incredible job of rebuilding that defense cheap. I mean, cheap.
But is it on the level of what it was when they won a Super Bowl? When they made a run for a Super Bowl? Is it anywhere close to that?
No. But that was one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
Do you know the highest paid defensive player they have right now is?
The highest paid defensive player they have.
The highest paid defensive player on the Rams cap ledger right now is who?
I don't know. Is it Darius Williams?
It's Aaron Donald.
Oh.
It's $25 million cap hit. He's not even on the roster.
Does that still count even though he retired?
Yes.
That's crap.
You paid it. Don't pay contracts to guys that might retire.
Yeah.
2 is Darius Williams. He doesn't make $5 million. He's the highest paid player on the roster on that defense.
Then I think you just answered your question. That's why nobody talks about him. Because they look at this team and they go, well, that's not a contender. That's not a championship contender. I can't see this team in a Super Bowl with a defense that doesn't really have a star on it.
And I think that's short-sighted.
Of course
I really do.
The fans are short-sighted. We go by names. When I don't have Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey to lean on anymore, I look at this team and go, well, nothing on this team sends me. The most recognizable name is Tre'Davious White, and his best years were 4 years ago.
He's 2, by the way. If you're curious who the second highest paid player on the defense is.
Mm-hmm.
They combined, make less than $9 million. It's incredibly impressive to me.
Mm-hmm.
And what this team has from top to bottom, they're going to be a real headache. I mean, a real headache to deal with. And I keep going back to Sean McVay of every time we've ever doubted him, he's shown us why we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
They're plus 330 to win this division, and I think that makes my brain hurt. The Jaguars have a better chance of winning the AFC South than the Rams do of winning the NFC West, according to Vegas.
Okay.
That's top 5 dumbest things I've said out loud all day.
What is the Jacksonville number? Just curious.
Plus 240.
Plus 240.
Or, excuse me, plus 275.
Well, I mean, that's also the nod to San Francisco.
And I guess that's where
There's
I'm at.
nothing you can do to catch San Francisco in our eyes.
And I think that's dumb. I really do. I think that's dumb.
Some way Vegas can see a way that Houston doesn't live up to expectations. Somehow Jacksonville can find a stride and win the division. But in the West, that's San Francisco's, and there's not really a contender for the division after that.
And to me, I look at the Rams.
That's how those numbers read.
I look at the Rams as they're right on the heels of the 49ers. Name me the position group that you would take San Francisco's roster over the Rams.
Running back. And then the fact that you're even thinking about Christian McCaffrey over Kyron Williams.
The fact that you don't think Kyron Williams is a top 5 running back in this league is hilarious to me.
Okay, you can be a top 5, but you're not close to Christian.
Well,
no one.
What you said was that you. All right, I think here's where I'm differing from you. I'm taking the contract into this too.
Okay, yeah, the
I'm
contract
paying one of you
doesn't matter.
$19 million. I'm paying the other one just over $1 million.
Yeah.
Do I think Christian McCaffrey's 18 times better than Kyron Williams? No, sir, I don't. Then I factor in Blake Corum. Okay. That's a lot closer than you want it to be.
Yep.
Offensive line, not even close. Wide receivers, not even close. Quarterback, not even kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to the defense. I don't think they're that far behind you. They're younger than you. And so
much younger.
And yeah, much younger.
Yeah, much younger and much more unproven.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also why, again, you don't get the platitude.
And I guess I'm just looking at that going, in terms of, if I'm looking at just talent, I'm looking at this in a vacuum. The Rams aren't that far behind. This is and every year we do this. There is a division. We did it last year with Jacksonville. Oh, they're going to win this division because they showed up. Yeah, guess what? They didn't. And I won't be shocked if San Francisco's the one this year. We just assume because they put their helmets on and their pants facing the right direction, they're going to win the division. I'm not so sure of that.
Yep.
If I get 17 games out of Matthew Stafford, I'm not sure I wouldn't take the Rams as better than San Francisco.
I can't get there. I think they're a very good team. I think the offense has a lot of positives to it. I mean, we have seen what happens to this offense when they don't have Cooper Kupp around. That was 2 years ago, I know.
They didn't have Puka Nacua 2 years ago.
They didn't have right. I get it. There's a lot to like about Los Angeles. They are a contender, period, in the NFL.
I just realized they have Tyler Johnson, too. So this will probably be the team that figures him out and turns him into the star we thought he was going to be about 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The former Buccaneer wide receiver. Los Angeles could be a big year for the city. Not only could the Rams win that division, but I think it also could be a step forward year for the Los Angeles Chargers. First year of Jim Harbaugh. Flostradamus has been a little uneasy about it in the early run-up to the season here. We'll check in after the break, see how he feels about it now. Anything about the way the process has gone in the new administration that might have brought you over to the side of the Los Angeles Chargers? Maybe think that there's a possibility that they may be able to threaten for a playoff spot in the AFC. Talk about them coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your
clear
weather forecast.
Thank you.
ESPN Asheville. For outdoor plans, not bad. Is it warm? Yes. Is it uncomfortably hot? No, but maybe toward the end of the week. 84, partial sun this afternoon, a little breezy. Tonight becoming cloudy, will drop to the low 60s. Tomorrow, some partial sun with clouds, low 80s. Then we reset. We get a little hotter Thursday, Friday. Sunny Thursday, 86. Friday sunshine will tickle 90. On the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services.
Disasters at home from floods, fires, or storm is a homeowner's worst nightmare. It pays to have a professional on your side, and that's exactly what you get with First Restoration Services. They've built their business off trust, integrity, speed, and quality. Learn more online at FRS247.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Coming back to Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st, streaming live only on Hulu.
Don't miss
Big Sean, Camila Cabello, Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, Hozier, Keith Urban, New Kids on the Block, Paramore, Shabuzi, The Black Crowes, Thomas Rhett, Victoria Monet,
and more.
Get tickets to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, right now, before they sell out.
At AXS.com.
In the dynamic world of programmatic ad buying, Viant is your ultimate CTV partner. Target with precision. Buy with confidence. Viant empowers you with AI-driven technology that reaches your audience where they engage most, ensuring your message hits home. And the campaign results? Transparent, thanks to Viant's advanced measurement suite. For media buyers who demand the best, Viant delivers. Viant. Elevate your CTV campaign performance.
In 1944, Dodson Pest Control was founded with the core values of honesty, integrity, pride in their work, and respect for customers. Those same core values still guide the company today, 80 years later.
Hello, this is Bonnie Dodson. My father, along with his brother, founded our company. They focus on providing every customer with the attention they deserve. That focus has allowed us to serve generations of area families since 1944.
Dodson Pest Control, 80 years of experience. Visit DodsonBROS.com.
Join us for our 37th annual Operation Blood Drive with WLOS, ABC 13, and iHeartRadio Asheville. June 27th. Visit redcrossblood.org and use the sponsor code OBD2024. OBD2024. We can't wait to see you there.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and we are excited to kick off the Parks Promise Community Hero Program. This year we'll be celebrating nonprofits throughout Western North Carolina that live out our core value to do better and be better for the communities that we serve. There are so many organizations doing amazing things, from being a helpful hand to a soft voice or a warm heart to embrace their neighbors. We can't wait to introduce you to our 2024 Parks Promise Community Heroes. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Here's to the helpers. To the ones who grow up knowing that life is about more than finishing first. It's about finishing together. At Ingalls, we know that doing your part doesn't mean doing for yourself. It means doing what you can, even though you might not seek the spotlight. We see you, and we're grateful. Ingalls, low prices.
That said that he was the victim of a subversive campaign by the town of Tuscaloosa, that the city wanted him out of his legal pot business, and that they were basically, he was just being harassed by the city.
That's the first time that subversive and Tuscaloosa have ever been used in the same sentence.
Because we try to keep the big words out of Alabama stories. Is that what you're talking about?
I didn't say that. I didn't say I didn't think that. I just said I didn't say that.
So Isaiah Buggs says he is, the victim of this campaign against him to try to drive him out of business in Tuscaloosa, and so denied all of the stories that he should be held responsible for 2 dogs that were left at a property that he used to rent, which now it's come out that he owed $3,000 in back rent on that property, which is why they tracked him down and said, hey, you're responsible for this. Well, he was arrested again. Now he's accused of domestic violence and burglary. The story coming out is that he got into a physical altercation with his girlfriend, during which he apparently dragged her down the stairs. There's a special place for abusers in this world. I was raised by a woman who was a victim of an abuser, and I've never really been able to square that in my head of how someone could do that, not only to a female, but, to my mother. Right? It's always been a sore spot with me. But I would think that if you're someone that already feels like you're persecuted by the local authorities, and you've got a job that you're going to lose if you get in trouble again, at some point the brain might kick in and tell you, it's probably not a good idea to be getting into physical altercations with anybody, regardless of the scenario. At one point, this was like a funny little story of, oh man, maybe there's something here. Maybe this guy's just getting pushed out of his business. Now it just makes you look at it and go, okay, the Kansas City Chiefs just need to make a decision just to be done with old Isaiah Buggs for good. Now, I will not be surprised if that story comes down anytime soon.
I'll be shocked if it doesn't.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He does not seem to be a rocket surgeon. That's for sure.
No, not at all. Don't do crimes.
Oh, that reminds me. Since your brick wouldn't reconnect to me, I kept getting that little blinky thing again. So I need to go. Don't do crimes.
Yeah,
my story is about microdosing chocolate bars. There's something I never thought I'd say. There is a company. It's called Diamond Shrooms with two U's and a Z. I have a philosophy, and I've lived by this pretty much my whole life. Any company that uses a Z in place of an S is not a place that I'm going to buy something that I plan on putting in my body. Just not a thing I do. Well, apparently they have a new line of chocolate products that are microdosing products. Now, I'm going to tell you what I know here because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Apparently so if you don't know what microdosing is, where you take a very small amount of a psychedelic drug, a hallucinogenic drug, and it increases your creativity, boosts your mood, all of those things, allegedly.
Yes.
Well, according to Diamond Shrooms, they have none of those products in this. Its products have no psilocybin in it. Tank, I'm going to defer to you because this is far more in your wheelhouse than mine. It has none of that. But their products have put 10 people in the hospital after taking them. To the point the FDA has now warned, do not eat, sell, or serve Diamond Shrooms brand microdosing chocolate bars.
The question has to be,
what the hell's in it?
What's the dose? Right? The microdose of the psilocybin is the thing that improves the mood, that increases concentration, helps with depression and anxiety, and it's the drug that's causing all of those things. If your product doesn't have that in it, then what are you giving people to increase their mood? There's got to be something in it. Otherwise, it's just chocolate. So, yeah, I can see why the feds would be, what's wrong with these things?
I want to know what's in it. All right, if it doesn't have...
It's got to be meth.
It's that like cheap... It's that cheap, low grade. It was made with, I'm trying to think of what's a lower grade than drain cleaner. because that's what you make it with on the front side. It's made with pipe cleaners, I guess.
Right. This is gas station meth.
That's one of those things I'll just never understand. Why would I take something like that? I think my brain's wired differently. Recreationals like that, it's not my thing. Oh, I'm going to eat this and it's going to make me smell sounds and taste colors. I'll pass. Need it to boost my creativity. I'm creative enough.
Some
a creative
Some people
dude.
are into that. Hey, and some people need it. You know, I get that. I get the actual legitimate pharmaceutical uses for these things. I have always been a big proponent of medicinal drugs like this. Being able to use marijuana for cancer patients to increase their appetite. You know, I remember having to sneak in THC gummies to my grandma who was in the nursing home to get her to eat because she was dying of cancer and nothing that they could give her legally worked.
Okay,
the only
that
thing
I
that
get.
worked, the only thing that worked for her was the THC gummies.
Okay, that
And so
I get.
So there are actual legitimate uses for this. It's got to be regulated, and you just don't, to a certain extent.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that anybody that has a legitimate interest is probably not buying diamond shrooms with 2 U's.
No, probably not. Probably not. I mean, it's all recreational. People messing around with things that they're not supposed to be messing around with, or things that they just look. Oh, this looks like it'll get me high. And then you end up buying stuff like this that you don't know what the hell's in it until finally some regulator steps in and goes, wait a minute, 10 people are now in the hospital because these, jackwagons don't know how to do their job right or are putting something dangerous into the market.
I look at the people that consume a product. This is how I judge a product. Who consumes it? Would I get along with that guy? Probably not. Then I'm good. I feel like the guy that asked you to buy his rock probably bought diamond shrooms.
Probably.
You didn't even ask how much. I'm going to need you to get away from me before I can get you away from me.
And they still don't know? There's no guess on what's in these that's putting people in the hospital?
No. They say there's no psilocybin, which means there's no psychedelic mushrooms or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's making people sick. They're getting nauseous. There's a lot of vomiting, things like that. And
So
they're warning people, do not take these.
There's like a synthetic psilocybin that somebody's cooked up here.
Yeah, anything synthetic. There's only one thing that I like that's synthetic, and we both know what I'm talking about. It's bought at a doctor.
It's motor oil.
And it's silicone based.
Motor oil. You're talking about motor oil.
Not fake if I can touch them. That's all I can say. Feels awful real to me.
Yeah. That's a perfect political answer there.
That's why I'm telling you, Tech. That's why I should be the next mayor.
Season. Yeah, campaign season.
That's why I should be the next mayor. I'm a visionary. I know stuff, bruh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like the perfect campaign slogan. That is the perfect Asheville campaign slogan.
What?
I know stuff, bruh.
Very nice.
I'm gonna get my wife on board with this.
With what?
Of my run for mayor.
I don't think you are. I really don't think she'll be interested in that. But good luck to you.
She's afraid that, people could learn things. There's nothing, trust me, there's nothing that anybody could learn that they wouldn't look at me and go, maths.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a little dangerous for a political career.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bill Clinton was the president of the United States. I think I'll be fine.
Good for you. I was going to say you got to be a member of the Biden crime family to be a part of that, but yeah, it's neither here nor there.
Hey, I've never smoked crack, so I'm ahead of at least 2 people in politics.
The Los Angeles Chargers, Jim Harbaugh in his first season. Are you warming to this idea? Has there anything been through the process here in the makeup of this team that you're thinking this could be a successful start?
Depends on what a successful start is.
Okay.
That's where I've always gotten with this, is I feel like that Jim Harbaugh's become like this mythic creature that in people's heads, he's just going to show up and everything's going to be hunky-dunky. And the problem with that is that historically, that's not really how it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it doesn't go that way with hardly anybody. I mean, I could count on one hand the number of guys that had a turnaround in 1 year like that. I'd also be remiss if I didn't point out that, I mean, he took over when he took over at Michigan, they were fine. They didn't really – took him 7 solid years to push them into legit national title territory.
Right.
Stanford, they were awful for 2 years. Awful. Before he had Andrew Luck.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go back to San Francisco. He took over a pretty talented roster. Got him to the NFC Championship game in his second year. And, yeah, he was 13-3 that first year. I don't see that coming for the Chargers. I think this roster was far behind that. You know, we did that Fix the Franchise series in the offseason. And I'm not sure there were 8 teams in the league that were further away than the Chargers were.
Mm-hmm.
That roster's super top-heavy. And now I just look at it and go, the question I ask with every team, how are they going to beat you? What do they do that's going to beat you consistently?
Will it not be the running game?
With Gus Edwards? Really?
And J.K. Dobbins and Kamani Vidal, and it's not going to be a one-man show. It never is with a Harbaugh or a Roman team.
All right, let me ask you a question. How many teams in the NFL would Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, or Kamani Vidal get legit carries with? Legit 10-plus carries a game.
I'd say there's a handful.
A handful. That's what you're going to beat me with? A 3-headed monster of running backs that would get a handful of carries with a handful of teams. Good luck with that. Mm-hmm. I could make the argument that's the worst running back room in the league, and the Dallas Cowboys are in this league. The New York Giants are in this league. You got 2 broken down former Ravens and a rookie. Now, it's a rookie that I like a lot. But I mean, I don't think that's how you're going to beat people.
Yeah.
You've got one of the weirdest wide receiver rooms I think I've ever seen. And you can tell me you can wax poetic about how good Ladd McConkey is in shorts.
He's awesome.
Yeah, trust me, they want you to know that too. They just signed him to the richest deal a 34th pick in the draft ever got.
That they did.
Woo. Don't care. I don't see a 1. I love Joshua Palmer. Even I don't think he's a 1.
No.
I think he's a really good 2. Quentin Johnston's a decent 4. And Ladd McConkey's a good slot receiver. And then your tight end room is just 4 dudes. I don't get it. The roster is built strangely. I think the defense could be markedly improved. I just don't know that you're going to consistently grind out games with the Chiefs and the Raiders and the Steelers, the Saints, Browns, the Bengals. There's just a lot of teams on this schedule that I look at and go, they're flat out better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think you're going to go 5-12 again? No, I don't. I don't think you're going 12-5 either. You get to 8 wins, you should consider this a real solid start.
That's the successful start that I'm suspecting. They're not a contender for anything at this point. But if you can get to 8-9 wins and be at the top of that, or just on the outside of the playoffs discussion in year 1, no, I mean, of course there are other things. There are holes to fill on this team. We just reset the decks.
You get one of the biggest plus money bets in the NFL betting under 8.5 wins on the Chargers. You don't get a better line, and I'm going to verify this before I say it, because I know this was the case, but every once in a while these things will change. The only better odds in the NFL that you get than under 8.5 wins for the Chargers is over wins for the Steelers, so over 8.5 wins for the Pittsburgh Steelers, under 8.5 wins for the Bears. That's it. That's it. Under 8.5 for the Chargers is the third best bet in all of football, and I would take it for anything you wanted.
Last real quick question here before we head out for the day. Justin Herbert. A lot's been made, a lot of stories been done about his abilities with his legs. How much does he change? How much does Greg Roman change him and his style? And how much will that hurt or help this team?
It will certainly help. I always thought that was something that was kind of lost in translation with the previous regime. How much does it help? Justin Herbert's never run for more than he had 302 yards in his second season. He's never been above 234. I would be shocked if he didn't double that. If he's not over 500 yards with a handful of rushing touchdowns, I will be stunned. And that'll help. How much that will help, that's debatable.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Enjoy the day off tomorrow. Hopefully you get it as well. We'll have it off for Juneteenth. Back with you at noon on Thursday right here on 92.9, 880, and 1400. We'll see you then.
And the best local and regional hard cider. At the Carolina Cider Fest, June 22nd on the South Slope. Sample and purchase your favorite cider. Indulge in artisanal bites from local chefs, groove to live music, and more. VIP starts at 11:30 a.m., hosted by South Slope Cheese. And a private cider and cheese pairing course. General admission starts at 12:30 p.m. Grab your tickets now. Benefiting NC Cider Association and brought to you by Shea & Company. To get your tickets, visit CarolinaCiderFest.com.
Join the MB Haynes family and enjoy excellent benefits, including medical, dental, and life insurance, 401k, employee stock ownership program, holidays, and paid vacation. MB Haynes has an immediate need for HVAC commercial service techs, plumbing, and electrical technicians. If you're ready to make a career change that positively impacts your workday and your time off, go to mbhaynes.com/careers to view available positions and apply. That's mbhaynes.com/careers. MB Haynes. Quality, commitment, character.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about